Scarlet players like to rock. Starting things off with that Blood Tongue, just checking Swift Frazier in the neutral. Whoa, that sweep anti-airy? That was an interesting hitbox right there.
And immediately already, yeah, testing the waters maybe with that projectile is Macaron. Not gonna work out.
Staggering. Macaron, he's just gonna confirm right there into the boiling point. 224 damage just for that. Easy confirm off of the mids, controlling this space as much as he can, opting to teleport in as well just to close the gap. Potentially looking for a counter poke situation to try and fish out for a whiff punish. You can see the whiff parry right there just in case there was a reversal and an excellent trip guard.
Great spacing so far for Macaron, man. Using all kinds of tools Squirrel has available.
And now Swift Frazier down on very little life. That burst is not going to work out for Macaron as he intended.
Well, at least, you know, the breakaway. He got the breakaway out of Macaron.
Yeah.
Micro win, I guess.
Fight.
It's definitely good, you know, in the battle of resources as we're in this next match. I think Macaron's controller might have disconnected, so Frazier actually waiting it out a little bit. But he still has himself a healthy, honorable to wait it out, you know, for that duration. I'd be going in. With throw, it is going to get punished right there. 1-1 straight into the Shadow Slide. Building up towards that KB. And yeah, Macaron's throw just whiffing, getting punished so hard for almost 40%. Macaron's going to punish the throw of his own.
Speaking of whiffed throws. Yeah, clean opening with that 4-2.
That's all he needs, really. It's just a couple touches into the Shadow Slide. The moment he amplifies it, you know, he's hitting 20% minimum. It's just a really good way to just... Oh, and all these Shadow Slides are really, like, starting to rack up quite a lot. I think he might actually have the KB built by now. Back 2 check from Macaron is going to opt to go in with a bit of pressure over here. Playing with the space and a trade in that situation. Definitely looking for a trip guard.
Oh, what a parry. Good patience by both of them. The punish into the boiling point. He axes it as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of raw damage right there, 28%. And also getting the punish on the Shadow Slide, which you don't see very often. You know, there's the whole mind game about amplifying it afterwards, but Macaron pretty ready for this. He's looking really in control, has the fatal blow.
Wow.
That's with Frazier.
Oh, and I don't think that breakaway was intended whatsoever, man. Must have been a mistake. For top. Oh, not
Very
getting
well
shit
suited
beat.
then.
Wow. What
Yeah, the patience. Cross frames. Okay, the back 3 disrespected with that jumps with Frazier. Lives to tell.
Fatal blow territory. Throw this little chip. Ow.
Oh,
Chip in the back 2. Man, that was still scary, man. Fatal blow was ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, that was really just... Both these guys are playing really, really patiently with each other because they know that the characters aren't going to really mix them up. If they don't bite, then it's fine. You know, you're not going to get shimmied unless you're trying too hard to look out for the throw. So, in that situation right there, it really just came down to the tiniest decisions. You know, so Frazier maybe not going for the anti-air when Macaron jumped in on him. That pretty much cost him the game. But Macaron, he's just been playing really... confidently, like the way that he's kind of just staggering his pressure a lot. He's not really afraid to get up in Swift Frazier's face, despite the fact that, and I want to see Swift Frazier kind of try and go for the tackle KB more if it's practical, just because we saw so many slides hit in that one game alone, right?
So I don't think there is going to be, once again, a character change for both of these gentlemen, or either of these gentlemen, I should say. Maybe a straight and honest set. That's what I reckon. Match 2.
Yeah, Macaron with the instant air to air. He's going to get the 4-4 right there. Goes for the boiling point. That was definitely a Shadow Slide attempt. It didn't come out. Blood Bowl is going to hit with Frazier, but ultimately Macaron, the one with the health deficit and that down 4 anti-air, that's the really important stuff. He's able to consistently get that off. It's going to be really beneficial for him in the matchup, but a trip guard right there from Macaron.
A little bit of a shimmy coming from Macaron. For the Blood Tongue.
Until that back 1-2, KD really just bled out to a Frazier. He does have the fatal blow if Macaron decides to do anything a bit too eagerly. Just using the armor property to potentially counter zone, but it's not going to kill with his health.
No anti-air attempt. ultimate, maybe 6% left. Good block on the back two, no punish though.
Yeah, definitely tried to go for that punish with the breakaway. Very questionable decision right there. Great down two as well, and presence of mind from Macaran to close it out that way.
I mean, anything would have killed there on hit, so I'm not sure about that breakaway either.
So Frazier doing what he does best, just gradually milling down that health bar, using these shadow slides very well, and an instant air teleport on reaction to the blood tongue right there.
Oh no!
Punish though.
Beautiful pickup though. 26%. What an end there.
Counter hit, poke on hit as well, playing a little bit disrespectfully, so Frazier gets punished for that throw with his Macaran building back a little bit of life over here. Using that blood tank, but a whiff. Ooh, could have been a big punish right there for Sir Frazier potentially.
A lot of zoning coming out of Macaran all of a sudden.
Look how much these anti-airs are doing work for him right now, Mitsu. These down fours have been really paying off for him.
And what a smart choice, man, going with the teleport. Even if this is a lost round, he's having that space to work with round 3.
Yeah, definitely. And this is, I think, where it's going to be favorable for Macaran because that shadow slide is not full screen, so staying at the very tip of the full screen, going to just gradually make it hard, but there is still the threat of course Fatal Blow very soon.
This is one hit confirm into Fatal Blow. It barely scales for Scarlet. Hold on a minute. This is super dangerous, but time, man. 11 seconds and chip.
Yeah, the moment he was in range to actually get, you know, to block the back 3 over there, it was really just a matter of chip. But you can tell Macaran was fighting for it, but the KD spent straight away in this 3rd round right here by Sir Frazier.
Getting shaken again.
Oh my god, the throw with it.
What a read. Oh no, that is the worst breakaway.
That really is paying off hugely for Sir Frazier right there. That double down 2, late breakaway as well for Macaran. No defensive bar to work with. He does have Fatal Blow, but this is a very hard fought battle if I've ever seen one.
Good jump out as well. In. Anti-air escape failed. This is good news for Macaran. This is still doable. Once again, one confirm into a Fatal Blow is all he needs.
Yeah, and that
escape failed as well. Hold on a minute, man. What's the mix gonna be?
That raw boiling point doing 18% as well. Both players on that Fatal Blow. Like you mentioned, and there it is! Oh, the breakaway got chewed up, but he had no choice. Really couldn't get it out earlier, and Macaran taking the 2nd game for himself as well.
It was just too much of a scary situation for a Frazier, man. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna shimmy me? Is he gonna grab me? Is it gonna hit confirm to Fatal Blow? You know, the minute he got that escape fails, it put him on check, man. All he needed was that checkmate, which he got with that hit confirm into a Fatal Blow. Beautiful play by Macaran.
Yeah, and that really felt like it was in the clutches. I mean, what a comeback from Macaran, but that really felt like it was in Swift Frazier's palm. And I was going to commend like him just being patient, not wanting to overextend anything, you know, just kind of running down the timer and force Macaran on the approach. But it kind of just, Macaran just seized advantage of the entire situation and took that for himself.
Scarlet.
So yeah, locked into that Scarlet. Macaran now on set point. He is on that too, so this win is going to guarantee him a spot in the winners finals. So for Frazier now, he's going to have to unleash the beast, so to speak, and do everything he can, because right now it's like he's getting the hits, but he's not getting the rounds, like the games. He's getting the rounds rather. That was kind of silly of me to say, but he's not getting the games, and he's so close to them. He's so very close to them, but you can tell Macaran is just that one step ahead.
Round 1. Fight.
See if there's going to be an adaptation, man. I think the big difference between these two players is that Macaran is just really hard to be opened up, man. He's not afraid to be taking the throw. And if there's going to be a throw, he is ready with the tech. What a whip punish from Macaran. Barely get the sentence out in time.
That was a really tight whip punish as well. It's not often you actually see that string whip punish, let alone with a standing 1. Great anti-air right there and confirmed straight away from Sir Frazier, instantly blowing up the attempted trip guard.
Not in time. It's a throw. He's just ready, man, even with the stagger attempt.
Both these players are very defensive in style as well. You can see Swift Frazier just trying to hit confirm that poke, using that back one, that 9-frame mid just to get the punish off over there and confirm into the slide. But Macaran right now is applying all the pressure right now. Disrespectful down 1. The neutral jump is huge!
Yeah. Smart choice not to go ahead and use the breakaway from Sweet Frazier. Macaran with the neutral jump into the easiest confirmed. Match point Macaran.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, honestly, and it really came down to that neutral jump, outspacing the slide right there, getting off that down back 3. Now Macaran in a really comfortable position, and Swift Frazier hasn't been doing badly by any means at all. You can see him cashing out on as much damage as he could get right there. Didn't have the bar to spend. Holding plus frame, choosing to respect. Flawless block on the jump in, but couldn't get more out of it. The back throw as well to send him back towards mid screen. And this is just Macaran's neutral, really, isn't it?
Boiling point amplifies it as well. Just shy of 28%.
His spacing as well is really good against the slide. Oh, gets the armored break into the shadow tackle. I don't know if he had the bar. I don't know if he got the KB if you keep the count.
I'm surprised it didn't go with that as well. There is no fatal blow this time.
Okay, Swift Frazier just challenging this time, using the 1-1-2 slide as well. One touch is going to do it for Swift Frazier, and that is all he needed. The poke into slide to close out the round. Gets a little breather for himself. You know, a chance at life right here. He's got a mountain to climb to take this set.
Staying alive. It's worked hard to do so. This is looking better. First reframe. Falling point though.
Alright, seeing that 1-1-2 being established a little bit more as well. As you know, the players are going to be looking out for that 1-1 slide. Even then, okay, the down 4 check from Swift Frazier. A little bit disrespectful on the wake up, but it worked out for him, as now he's got a decent health lead, just about 20%, and that air teleport's gonna, you know, widen the gap just that little bit more, followed by this back throw as well. So Frazier looking like a totally new player right now, looking a lot more comfortable than he did in the earlier games.
And Macaran pull off another comeback though. Oh yes, this is going to be very good news, man. Look at how much might come back. Scary stuff.
Oh, the interruption on the back too.
Oh, he didn't have
Frazier
the
was ready for it. He didn't. So very close.
So smart. Ship is a big issue here. Don't get in range of a slide. What's it gonna be? Jump in to what? And
Oh,
the shimmy
shimmied.
felt good. Into
Oh,
the brutality.
no.
He was believing so hard that the throw was coming through. Not
There
gonna
was
happen.
honestly.
Wow.
It's like he was in that situation for 2 games. He had a good health lead to work with, and then it felt like he kind of got in his own head, and Macaran really just completely took advantage of the situation. That shimmy at the end, I mean, after the neutral jump, it was that walk up, the delay right into the forward 4, right? He was like, yeah, you're going to press a button over here, or you're going to think I'm going to throw. And boom, worked out perfectly for him. Macaran taking that set 3-0. I couldn't have called it was going to be that set score. I genuinely feel that the games themselves were a lot closer than the score will make you believe.
Right.
But, I mean, still really well played to both players. So Frazier is going to be down in the loser's bracket, so he's not out of the top 8 just yet. He's going to have another chance at running it through. But Macaran moving on into the winners finals, Mitsu.
This is a really good win for Macaran, man. He is, in this today's bracket, the last seeded player, man. He is currently 17th in the current standing of the Mortal Kombat Pro competition for EU West. And this is, what, at least like 160 points? Don't let me do the math. But this is a lot of points, man, going into winners finals. This is very, very good, man, to make it into the top 8 of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. But speaking of which, man, the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition, let's talk about that real quick. Earn points by placing each event. We have 8 events per region. You're watching the Intercontinental Kombat, which is consisting of EU East, EU West, Middle East, and Oceania. Top 8 advances to regional finals to play for $5,000. So that is $5K per region. For North America, it's going to be top 16 with $10,000 on the line. And Liga Latina is going to be handled like the Intercontinental Kombat as well. So $5,000 per sub-region. A lot to play for, but slowly but surely, Falcon, time is running out. You know, a few weeks ago, I think I was like you know, there's still time. Go ahead and sign up and play for points. But you know, now I think the leaderboards are slowly but surely being solidified.
Pretty much, you know, and for someone like Makaran, this kind of a run is really important for him because, like you mentioned, he's in 17th, right?
Yeah.
And it's only, as you can see at the bottom, the top 8 advancing to regional finals for Intercontinental Combat, which is what this is. And it really is that important for him to do better. And being in winners finals is already going to get him a nice chunk of points. And on top of that, he has, you know, the potential to make it into grand finals, potentially even win the whole thing. He's in a really good position to do that. So for someone like him, he could potentially be, you know, sniping out those spots like straight away.
Now, he didn't even get time to tease, as these players are already in. It's going to be Mirko taking on Josh TQ. Man, oh man, Mirko has been so strong as of late. This
Yeah, Mirko has been on... He's just ridiculous, isn't he? He's one of the most reactionary-based players that I've ever seen in the game, full stop. And he's playing against, you know, a young buck himself, Josh TQ, and who's also been a monster in his own right.
You understand little, Black. I've killed people for being less rude.
Round 1.
Hold on, did he say Mercs or something? I didn't quite hear it, but it would be totally fitting. Well, Mirko, Mercs, I don't know, man. That's just me. Here it is, man! Match 2 of Winners Semifinals.
Okay, we start things off with that throw escape. A great anti-air as well, and I think that was a confirm right there from Mirko. Forced Josh TQ off those 2 defensive bars. You see that dropkick attempting to try and get that far anti-air over there, but Mirko going to capitalize on the situation. Has that flame buff as well to work with, so that did a little bit extra damage. And right now, look at him, just tracking on all this momentum right now. Stand for. Oh my goodness.
No respect. No respect.
Absolutely none. Just making a hard call out right there on what Josh DQ wanted to do. And just doing the wake up 1-1. You can tell Josh was fishing for a whip punish right there. Realized it wasn't worth trying to go for the button just in case the KB was going to hit him. Back to opening up a little bit more space. The great stand for anti-air. Seeing Josh rock that low peacemaker as well. You know, a really strong special that Aaron has available to him with that KB.
It's gonna be a good poke. Stopping his tracks against the back row.
Yeah, oh my god! The mileage he's getting from these stand fours that are seemingly random, I guess, to the naked eye. It's like he's using them really wisely. Josh definitely gonna be spending that KB over here. He has no other choice. Using that low peacemaker, goes for the whiff punish. So close. Oh, that's dead.
Wow! What a comeback! Getting clipped by those back twos. What?
Well, Josh TQ with an exceptional play and a level-headed performance to be able to take that one. Clean standing, confirmed, straight into the fatal blow, kept himself alive as we approach the final round in game number 1. Okay, low crush with that dropkick.
Gets the wake up roll.
Oh, the escape failed.
Very good news for Mirko.
Right here, and using that low peacemaker. I really like that special, you know, just allowing you to get slightly different mix-up options and a great confirm off that neutral jump kick into the
back in.
Yep, straight away into the corner again. Mirko being disrespectful and wake up once more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he spent it.
Let's. Another grab, and this is one hit confirm into GG's with that fatal blow. What's it gonna be?
Really
Another grab. Yeah, he is afraid of the hit confirm. Fatal blow for Josh TQ. No, he won the time.
Tries to get the scud shot off. It did not work at all. Mirko just ever so slightly and narrowly missing that punish opportunity, and Josh seizing the round, getting the punish. Did exactly what he needed to do in that situation. Just throw down the acid, get the guaranteed, and you know, didn't bite when Mirko pressed the up 3. He really came back in that game, Mitsu.
His reactions betrayed him. That's what the story of that last interaction was.
The willingness to go for it just shows how confident he really is in his
Yeah.
instant air teleports, though.
But just a little bit too
Scorpion.
late on the teleport
Aaron Black.
punish attempt. But I respect it. I respect it.
Tarkasha.
Man,
Yeah.
oh man, was that a close game.
That really wasn't. To believe that was only the first game as well.
It was a roller coaster. To say the least. Going into this match too.
Now that down Peacemaker, you know, that's a really important special that I think we're going to start seeing Josh implementing a lot more if he's able to keep Mirko in place. But that's also one of the hardest things to do is keep Mirko in place.
Round one.
You know, he's a very squirmy player. And it benefits his playstyle a lot. In that sense, so you can see checking with that far-reaching mid straight into that down Peacemaker. Gonna get the command grab. Start things off for himself with a decent health lead. Throw escape straight away. Josh being wise to it.
Oh boy, that breakaway, man. That just sucks.
It really does. Oh, the interactable didn't trade. Surprising right there. Mirko cashing out on full damage right here. Gonna get that knockdown with the 1-1-2. Throw escape again by Josh TQ. Refusing to be thrown now.
He's ready. Being thrown so much. Empty teleport, the Scorpion special.
Novice.
Okay, we have is gonna use a forward throw. Okay, he's just gonna go and opt in for that jump too. Far reaching, you could tell Josh was trying to go for the trip guard over there the moment Mirko landed, but
And this is the second he is opting to go with the throw, or willing to take the throw, I should say.
oh
And yeah,
my goodness, and a neutral jump kick is all that Josh needed right there. Confirm it's a fatal blow. Guarantee the round. Mirko almost able to steal that one away, but unfortunately it didn't work out as he intended. And Josh taking that, but he is down on the fatal blow now.
Round two.
Once
Fight.
again, very close round. This is back and forth so far. More bullets. Oh, teleport gonna work. Well, Mirko gets another throw.
Yeah, gets the punish as well from that help port cancel. He's gonna spend both offensive bars right here. Get 35%, he gets some good Oki to work with. The back 3 check against Josh, who's now down a fair bit of health, but that clean jump in.
Standing 4, not gonna work for Mirko.
Okay, the back 1 checks until Mirko's just fishing for something. Great whiff punish right there from Josh. Didn't have the bar to spend to throw down the acid. Escape failed as well.
This is very good news. I think both throws could be death. Oh, and the trick is stuck.
Very
Or
cheeky.
To be interactable. I love when players do that, man.
Fight.
Well, not against me, but when I watch.
Utilizing their
Smart.
environment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Oh, there is no breakaway. This is gonna hurt.
First he got the punish. No, more than he's got 36 over here and the corner position. Stand 2, straight into the back throw. He's gonna spend that KB he had from earlier on. And right now, this looks like a very strong round for Mirko. Big whiff punish right there for Josh DQ though. He's gonna throw down the acid, jail him into the situation. Mix up City, keeps him in the acid. And the back 2 check into the down Peacemaker. Big opportunity right here for Josh, who's gonna go for a normal throw as well.
Everything's working out for Josh TQ all of a sudden, man. The minute he got on life support, came out swinging. Throw escape as well. Down 2. Up 3's blocked.
Oh
Back
my
grab
goodness,
steal.
he has the bar.
Man, oh man.
Finish him.
Man,
Oh
oh man.
my goodness, Mitsu. How did he do that?
He was just swinging, man. When the heat was on, he was just swinging, and quite literally everything was working out for Josh TQ.
He was like, and just like, you backed him up into a corner. He just went all out, didn't he? And that round happened really quickly. It was a few situations that he just got the hits, you know? He had the acid down. He had the sequence where he started to mix up Mirko. Mirko took a little bit of damage from the burn on the acid, took a few stray hits. Next thing you know, he's command grabbed, and Josh has the game. He's now 2-0 up, and it really did look like Mirko was in control for a vast majority of these rounds.
Aaron Black.
Not to take anything away from Josh, of course. He's been getting some excellent whiff punishes that have really started to build up that momentum and allowed him to snowball these games.
We have a 0-2 situation. Josh TQ currently up on Mirko. Let's see if Mirko can stay alive here somehow. Going with the burning spear. I'm not sure. Oh, and the death spin. Hold on a minute now.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's rocking V2.
Hold on a minute.
I like this. So rocking the death spin, so he's got Searing Rage right here.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, I don't know if Aaron actually has a punish for death spin.
I think Slide could do the job, man. I think Slide. And a certain
wonder.
range.
Maybe, yeah. I wonder if max range death spin actually isn't punishable, but we'll have to find out over here as Josh start things off. He got that really nice anti-air over there, uses the down Peacemaker, get that slight bit of pushback, does a little bit of chip damage. Using that Scud Shot to just control neutral as much as he can right now. Mirko getting shimmied right there after the false block.
Ouch, getting punished for the down 4 attempt, and this is not looking good for Mirko as Josh TQ takes us to match point.
Round 2.
We're straight 3-0.
Oh, blocks the full string as well, not falling for that day one. Right here, throws down the acid.
To be fair, I think that was a whip punish attempt from Mirko. I think he was just leaving too
could be
much.
right.
Right. Can't you see a death spin?
Oh.
And he just seems so ready, Falcon, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then all of that. Oh, didn't go for the command grab right there. The drop kick from the short hop. Josh throws down the acid. This is a very tough one for Mirko. I don't know if he can do it, but that full screen KB. He's going to get up from the spear.
Yeah, the acid is going to be gone. Restand. And he was even ready for the throw, man. In that situation, raw teleport, another throw escape.
Oh, and the double down 3.
Raw
throws it out.
Yeah, not going to work either. Josh TQ. The fatality as well.
With honestly, what a stellar performance from Josh though. Really, absolutely steamrolled his way through the latter half of this set between both these phenomenally good players, and just, you know, that moment he was pushed up against the wall, he just unleashed. This last game was all Josh right there. And, you know, I think Mirko had some really good moments in the beginning of the set. He was really, like, starting to build things off. But, like, I mean, once again, this is like the Macaron versus Swifrazier situation, right? Swifrazier was really close to closing out some of these games, but then Macaron just went ham. And then he took the set. And it 3-0 with Macaron Swifrazier, 3-0 with Josh Mirko. We obviously haven't commentated these games, know that they were not, like, 3-0, so to speak, but they were very back and forth, and they had us, you know, biting our nails at some point.
You know, I'm surprised because usually it's Mirko who throws the kitchen sink at his opponent the minute he is down on life, but here it was the opposite, really. It was Josh TQ who came back and got those comebacks. But the good news is we shall see Mirko later on in the losers bracket.
Yeah, we shall indeed. And the losers bracket as well is looking mighty stacked as well.
We are jumping into the losers bracket momentarily, but before we jump into it, let's quickly give a big thank you to Astro Gaming, the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. What you are hearing, what we are hearing, is brought to you by Astro Gaming, so check out their officially licensed products over at astrogaming.com, which are available right now. Big thank you to Astro Gaming.
Yeah, super clean headsets, and down there in the losers round 1, you can see Rise Zoker and Wizards Club MK Javier. Now, both these guys have definitely become prominent names. More in the recent, you know, the online competition, they've been consistently hitting these, you know, high placings and generally making a name for themselves. And both of them are known to be playing their own specific characters, just like everyone else in this top 8 so far as well. You know, Zoker very much known for being a Cabal specialist, but also has things like the Pocket Liu Kang should he need to pick it for a certain matchup. Javier pretty much being, like Mirko, through and through Scorpion player. But we've seen Spawn in the past. Could expect to see something else, potentially, should he need it. But I think it's pretty safe to say he'll be playing Scorpion.
This is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm just so happy that Zoker is nowadays competing more, man, because... you know, until just very recently, he was rather unknown, man. Who knew about Zoker, this Italian player? But he came out swinging, playing in like King of the Hills online tournament. So it's really good to see him doing so well in the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. And it's going to be an interesting one taking on MK Javier.
Yeah, for sure. Zoker, I mean, I only played him in tournament once and he cooked me. So it's...
No shame, no shame.
I have no doubts that he's just a sick player. But MK Javier, you know, I think is one of the more improved players over time when it came around to competing online, you know, predominantly and just doing all of that. He, I know, was quite a notorious Scorpion player that many people would rather not fight because of how, I guess he and Mirko kind of play in ways that can be very erratic for a lot of people to deal with. You know, they play very like high tempo, very in your face. They're not afraid to throw out a lot of pokes. They're not afraid to challenge a lot of things. But that's just their defined style. And I feel like they're doing this in a way because that's just how they play Scorpion. And Scorpion's a perfect character for them, right? But Javier also, you know, we've been seeing Spawn from him in the past and stuff as well. But in this kind of a matchup, I don't really see why you wouldn't want to play Scorpion, your best character, against, you know, Zoker's Cabal.
You know, you can meme Javier all you want. He is second seed in the entirety of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition.
Yeah, he is.
For a reason, man.
Round 1. Fight.
He is here to play. Here it is. Losers round 1. MK Javier versus Zoker. Spain versus Italy.
Truly, this is almost like a World Cup situation we have going on in the top 8.
Beautiful, man. It's
with all these, yeah, it's great. You can see Zoker running that dash cancel as well to make the forward 4 hit confirmable, that 9-frame mid, but that doesn't even matter right now as Javier start things off with a great double bar spent, 34% combo. Gets knocked down by Zoker over here in the corner though.
Great patience from MK Javier. Out of there. Empty neutral jump.
Look at the patience right now. It's a poke war at the moment.
From both players.
It really is. Javier opening up that space right here, using the 4-3 to try and fish for something. You can see Zoker just walking him down a little bit.
I'm barely breathing, man. It's so intense. I know it's not intense on paper, man, but the patience, man. The patience is so impressive. No one's pressing a button.
It really is just like that. You can see Javier, oh, he got the hit, but he didn't believe over there. Backing off might have been the better option. Flame buff into the forward throw, 16% right now. You can see Zoker, oh, we're gonna get the confirm. No, spear. Maybe even a little bit too low.
A timeout between Cabal and Scorpion? What? Look at the time. 8 seconds.
Yeah, Javier could just hold block this entire time and be just fine. He doesn't press another button, and there you go. Yeah, on time. Yeah, what? Crazy, right? Javier's playing so patiently right now. I don't think we're used to this. But like I said, he's definitely one of the most improved players in my opinion throughout, you know, Europe West. Just from having just played so much of the game that he just refines his style. Defense and patience right now is impeccable.
Look at that. Wow, empty jump into a throw. The cheeky stuff.
Just ran out of that flame buff though, so he didn't get the full cash out from it, but he's gonna get a great hit confirm right there, and the defensive bars from Zoker.
Oh, doesn't get a follow-up though on the jump. Okay, gets thrown. Maybe it's just Patel with throwing. I need to mix up more throws here.
Oh, good block, no. Yeah, he didn't commit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What an air-to-air and a confirm right now from Javier is gonna definitely be spending all this bar. Ending that 2-on-2 KB. Takes the first game over here in losers round 1.
That was just clean Scorpion gameplay through and through.
I'm not even gonna lie, he's playing godlike. He just genuinely is. You know,
that was so clean, Falcon.
he's just really, really patiently. He understands this character so well. You can tell that in the character matchup that he knows that it doesn't really matter. You know, a worst case scenario, if he guesses wrong in a low hook grab situation, he's going to get knocked full screen. He has helport cancel. It doesn't really matter too much. If he needs to use it, he can get back in. But if he guesses right, he gets a full punish on it.
Scorpion.
And he definitely has a lot of damage, you know, and he's using these throws very well with these pokes, these frequency of the pokes, and just being able to move back and forth and just hold block. And eventually Zoker's kind of turn, his entire sequence runs out of steam, right? And he's capitalizing on that so well. But it's not even like Zoker's doing badly. You can tell Zoker's trying to stagger on him, trying to mix him up. He's using the dash cancels. He's using different staggers, but Javier's just not biting to anything.
Round 1. Fight.
See if he stays composed and patient in this game too. Gets a 4-3 immediately. To a grab.
Okay, throw take this time.
Hey, 2 for 2.
Very
Okay.
Whoa!
What a confirm!
I wonder if he tried to get a dash cancel on that and realized it hit and he just let it rock. That was sick though. Single button hit confirms. That's what we like to see. Oh, the crossover.
Wake up 1-1. 4-4. Oh, I'm surprised there was no confirm.
Yeah, me too. Off that 1-1. Javier gonna use that 4-3-4 to open up a little bit of space. Zoker answering back with some mids of his own. Using that 4-4 to try and fish out a button from Javier. Once again, look at him. He's just not pressing. He's not biting. He doesn't want to counterpoke there. He just knows.
He's not moving a muscle, man. Not moving, not pressing. Burning spear.
Oh, KB.
Yeah, there is no breakaway. This is gonna hurt quite a bit. Oh no, he drops it though! That is the worst drop, man. That kills you. Doesn't even need the bit load. No.
I think I think he might have needed it. The hook slam over there might not have killed, but perfect for Zoker right there with an excellent punish. Very big mishap as well for Javier, but yeah, I mean, spend the cash, right? Secure it, especially when you're a point down and you're in losers. You know, this is your only tournament life right now. You gotta secure as many points as you can as we're whittling down closer and closer to the end of the IKK series. Okay, the 4-throw, 16% on the table.
Ouch.
Clean whip punish as well. Zoker staying on that defensive bar, not wanting to spend it just yet.
It's a burning spear as well. Trying to air with that. Jump in 2. Too late on that. Once again, good patience.
Oh, actually got a punish from the crossover over there with the 1-1. I'm not even sure exactly what that was punishing. It's something of Zoker's in recovery, but 37% almost. Javier closing out that round very much in his favor. And yeah, I mean, Zoker had a very strong start, but right now it looks like it's going back to shades of game number 1 right here, Mitsu.
Good down 1 for the throw. Trying to shimmy a bit. Threatening with that movement. Burning spear is still active. A little bit of a drop at the most tragic drop, but still.
Feel my pain.
Just jumping his way straight over the saw, applying so much mental damage with this throw game. Has the escape failed as well to work with as we are in this final round of this game right here. 4-4 trade in favor of Javier, who's it's gonna favor him with the plus frames.
Shimmying now would be so good, and it's so threatening, man. With that escape fail locked in, becomes so much more of a threat. What's it gonna be? He's gonna press, he's gonna throw.
Javier just playing super defensively.
He finally pressed the button!
Yeah.
He's human after all.
Got caught jumping. No. Oh! He's trying to shimmy him so hard. Instant punish by Zoker. Great call out.
There's no breakaway. The smoke, the restand. Still just needs to throw, man. Oh no! The 1-1 no confirm!
He was so close to doing it right there. Javier could have had a whip punish right there on the 1-1.
Surely.
Didn't want to believe. Oh, he's got the KB!
Surely.
He showed him the sandals and takes it for game number 2. Oh my god.
Not the sandals, Falcon. Not the sandals.
Oh, he's wearing the sandals. They're really uncomfortable. But honestly, that Zoker was playing sick, and Javier, he held on to that KB and used it at exactly the right time to secure himself the game. Now this is happening every game, Mitsu. What's going on? This entire top 8, these games are so close, but only one player is getting the points. Now I can't call it too early. Zoker still has a chance to take this set, but right now, those crucial moments are really like definitely Javier's, getting favored in those situations, creating maximum opportunity for himself.
Lost hive of the Kaitin.
Still believing in this cabal. Like it's not like, I'm not even sure if it's a character thing. I mean, he has to tighten things up a bit with his execution. He's getting those 1-1s and individual hits, but confirm is somewhat letting him down. If he tightened things up, he could definitely take this into a match 5. It's the anti-air to start.
Definitely could. I mean, we know Zoker is sick right there. The back one confirmed straight away into the Nomad dash, but the drop combo eats the down 2 for his troubles and forced off that breakaway as well.
A grab. He needs more of this.
This is what we need to see from Zoker right now. That 1-1 counter hit.
Slam. Not again. Just kill him.
Oh, I like that. That was incredibly cheeky. I don't even know why it worked, but it did. We take those. The 4-2-2 dash cancel, short hop 3. Zoka right now, that was a very important round for him. He needs this, and he needs the points to advance on. Javier definitely in a better position in his leaderboard. The 1-1-2 gonna knock down Zoka over here in the corner.
Trying to press, but too many. Oh, and the confirm. Down two. Hold on a minute. Finally with the flawless block to the up 2.
Yeah, he's gonna end it in that hook slam. A nice chunk of damage. Oh my god, the wake up 1-1. Javier being super disrespectful right here. Drops the combo. No overcommitment though. That breakaway. He went for a throw in that situation? Escape failed as well for Zoker.
4% left. Back to the block. This is one clean hit confirm into a fatal blow.
Oh my goodness. I respect the attempt.
Yeah, but like, yeah, with
that little life, right? If he got the KB, then it was going to be the round.
Right.
But
Chip.
oh no, he's going to spend it nice and early. Definitely showing off those sandals. Says, look at my Gucci's, and kicks him halfway through the screen. 30% already on the board for him. Oh my god. Oh, I thought that was that ranged KB again. He's going to go double spear combo into the 2-on-2 KB. Zoker's health bar is gradually depleting. That burn damage is definitely hurting.
Just backing off. Wants none of it. 1-1 after a blockdown 1. Being a bit disrespectful, but here comes Zoker. Can he stay alive? Yeah, catches out immediately. Just wants to get rid of that health. Maybe predicting a breakaway as well. Regardless, getting a chunk of damage here. 45% to be exact.
Yeah, doing a lot of damage in that one sequence right there. Javier challenging in that +1 situation. Zoker trying to go for the walk forward bait on the teleport, but right now these individual hits are definitely coming in clutch for Javier. Great throw escape and an anti-air.
Oh no, he didn't have the bar, man. How unfortunate for Zoker. Another throw escape wouldn't really matter.
Oh my goodness, back throw.
Back throw Falcon.
Oh my goodness. Right there, Javier just teleported instantly when Zoker was pressing the button, and Zoker even went for the throw tech. He just guessed wrong. There was the escape failed, and Javier taking that 3-0, and once again an incredibly narrow set between two ridiculously good players.
I mean, you can only tech so many times. I mean, even to tech twice in these super clutch situations for Zoker. But unfortunately, you know, the third one did hit its mark. It's going to be MK Javier advancing over Zoker, who finds himself eliminated. That
was so close, Mitsu. That was so close. I don't think our blood pressure can take this. I mean, this is like, every set so far has just been down to the wire.
How is that a 3-0? How is that a 3-0?
How is Macaran Frazier a 3-0? Josh Mirko is a 3-0. This is a 3-0. And then we have, you know, the final game of losers as well in round 1 between VLJV and Law Corridor. Now, both these players play what I like to think are different styles of Mortal Kombat 11, but ultimately they're both incredibly solid players, you know, very good fundamental players when it comes around. And when it comes to their characters, Law, obviously, being that Joker enjoyer that he is, and VL being Garrus. But before we can get into all that, we have to give a quick shout-outs to our presenting partner, the PlayStation 4 Open Series and PlayStation 4 Tournaments. So the Mortal Kombat Pro competition is presented by PS4 Tournaments. Be sure to check out the Open Series. Everything you see, per week, it's all being commentated and everything. If you guys do really well over there, you can get yourself a nice big cash prize. Be sure to sign up. All skill levels are welcome. If you visit the PlayStation 4 Competition Center, it's the one destination for an inside look at how top players play, tips and tricks for players of everywhere. And if you just head over to compete.playstation.com, you can get yourself signed up. You can do it straight through your PS4 as well if you need to. It's really well integrated. It's super easy, and it's a great way to get yourself into the world of competitive Mortal Kombat 11, especially when we aren't allowed to go out and do these offline tournaments, very much at all. So these kinds of things are a great way to get your foot in the door.
Very well said. But I think we do have a match. It is going to be VL versus Law Corridor. So who do you reckon we are going to see in this character select?
I think it's going to be Garrus Joker. Going by what I know.
I hear something else.
I heard something else as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, now you know what? So VL. Now both these guys do like to stream a lot, right? VL likes to play Sub-Zero. I know against his viewers at times, and to be honest, his Sub-Zero is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Law Corridor obviously being an absolute demon to many people online playing this Joker that he has basically just crafted this name for himself as being one of the most prominent forces with this character across all of Europe, which is actually surprising to see him in the loser side of top 8.
I'll save the day.
Amplified ice ball.
Hey,
now,
the
yeah.
pew-pew!
Yeah, Law, I think he might be running Boeing as well. I actually didn't get a look at the specials. But Batsy Pew Pew, definitely something that he likes running. I know he probably is running the Jumping Jester as well. Whereas we see, the traditional Cold Shoulder. Sorry, not Cold Shoulder. The Deep Freeze and the Creeping Ice for VL as well. He's going to get a... Yeah, that was massive.
Jumped in from downtown, man. Got the clean hit as well. Speaking of which, jumping out of there. Monsters are just jumping all over the place. What is this set, man?
Instantly getting that punish as well. VLJV opting to go for the stand for reset, keep Law up, and go for the mix-up. The Law Corridor is going to be using that Kapow over here. As my Batsy is running Kapow and Batsy Pew Pew. Forward throw after that mild delay right there. Not going to worry about the KB. He doesn't have that quite yet. Either player really just needs one solid hit confirm, and it is going to take the round.
But this is Sub-Zero. There it is. Speaking of which, man, the 4-2 is doing his job. Robbing people.
Yeah, and I like the idea to spend the Fatal Blow as well right over here just because he kept it unbreakable, kept it guaranteed, just got himself the round. That's all he needed to work with. And then Sub-Zero also has that, like the 1-2-4, slide KBs and stuff like that to work with in a final round situation. So, it worked out pretty well for him. But Joker still having that Fatal Blow. Bit of a scary thing right there. Top 1 character with that tool available. Okay, the absolute patience right now being displayed by these players.
Very slow round. Hold on a minute. Oh yeah, the perfect punish, man.
Yeah, knows exactly how to do it. Good matchup knowledge being displayed by VLJV14 over here.
Okay. Oh no, that doesn't confirm it to the Kapow.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate right there for Law. I mean, he had the trip guard, didn't believe in it though, but speaking of confirms, the 2-1 straight into the ice ball, gonna get the crossover, and in that amplified slide to get the reposition as well. VLJV looking like he's in a really good position to start taking this first game. The Law Corridor does have that Fatal Blow. We know how explosive Joker can be with that. Oh, and the down 2 trade. Excellent stuff right there from VLJV. Honestly, I mean, with the surprise Sub-Zero pick over here in top 8, in losers top 8, he takes the first game against Law Corridor. That has him at a nice position where he's got that point advantage against Law. And now, in the event, if there's a character swap situation or a counter pick situation, the VL has that extra point to work with. It's going to be in his favor.
The down 2 from downtown, huh?
Yeah, man. Really, really clever.
Jackie Briggs.
Insta switch right
wow,
here.
That was really instant lock-in, yeah.
Going back to the character that Law was playing maining before Joker, Jackie over here. And I'm curious to see if there's something specific. Maybe you just would feel that Jackie's just a better pick for the matchup in general, as Batsy Pew Pew is being dealt with. But we'll have to wait and see. Running the Bionic Bounce, that leap, the grenade launcher, everything else that makes a Jackie a nightmare story, really.
I don't think Jackie is ever a bad idea, so makes sense to me to go with her. Hold on a minute though, gets the jump in to the ice ball. Late breakaway, I don't know how to feel about that.
Neither do I. Look at that instant flawless block reversal as well from BLJV, but the forward 1-2 hit confirmed from Law Corridor.
2. Oh no, he missed the 3.
Potentially be a little bit of rust with the character. Doesn't block the overhead. That forward 2 being an absolute demon. The God button right there.
To leap. Step in the corner. Forward 2 is whiffed.
Okay,
wow. Very good patience from VL. Good throw escape as well. Oh, he tried to down 1. Not gonna work out. Double fatal blow. You know what that means for Sub-Zero.
We do. Oh, tried to stagger into reversal fatal blow. I like the idea behind it, but not going to work out. And you can tell he tried to slide over there. That
Exactly.
stand 3 didn't work out as he had hoped. Law Corridor getting that round for himself.
Watch the leap. It's only a matter of time. Probably waiting for it. Maybe trying to counter it with the back 2 when the time is right.
What comes first, leap or slide? Alright, these down ones not working out. Oh, gets the jump in and a confirm right there, using the amplified ice ball as well, just to add a little less combo scaling damage. Instant challenge by Law, but no punish on the grenade launcher.
Yeah, he needs to go out of there. He needs to get out of there.
Oh, that
Ice
big
ball, wow! To the restand, hold on a minute. Offensive bar to make a count, but getting the throw.
And the escape failed for this final round situation where he's gonna have, you know, I don't even know if he built the slide KB because he didn't have the bar in that final sequence. I think he still needs that. He doesn't have the bar as well to end in slide KB over here, you know, to even build towards it. So he's running without that, but he does have to throw KB from a good freeze situation. A nice pickup from Law over here is gonna push the VL towards the corner.
I think that's why Locoder opted to go with those late breakaways to nullify that slide crushing blow.
Yeah.
Oh, finally got opened up.
Yeah, now VL is burning over here. Law Corridor got shimmied. Gets
He did it! He did it, Falcon! He did it!
Oh,
The
950 HP.
reset.
Oh, yeah, this is dead.
This is death. This is death. This is Jackie.
Oh my goodness.
Even if it was another character, man.
Oh my
This was,
goodness.
look at that,
Sometimes
man.
you just have to take a moment to be like, is that really gonna kill? Oh yeah, it is. Because the last hit does so much damage as well. But yeah, I mean, crazy. VL just, it really, Law got shimmied. The moment he got shimmied, it just went into straight into amp ice ball, jump in, stand for a fatal blow. The perfect robbery tool right there for VLJV as he secures that game for himself.
It's like almost like Law. The 4-2 into Fatal Blow is going to be killing. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in those kinds of pressure situations, I feel like there's more of a nerve-wracking emphasis on guessing right, isn't there? It's like, it feels like 7 out of 10 times a Sub-Zero player would feel inclined to go for a forward 2. But you hyper-focus on the 3 out of 10. You're like, but what if he back 3s?
No, sir. Overhead it is. So, sticking with the Jackie, huh? Betting his tournament life. Once again, this is losers.
Well, I mean, he was playing really well with Jackie. That just came down to him getting shimmied at the end, right? And then Sub-Zero destroying half that life bar instantly. Tried to go for a punish on the ice ball right there. That backward ice ball might have been a dropped input, or it might have been a bit of tech right there, potentially being trying to be used by BL. Oh, a punish straight away.
No fear from BL.
Oh, that could have been big.
Could have been big. Not gonna be. Getting another 4-2. To a restand as well into the grab. Really got a lot of mileage out of these restands, man. This BL.
He really has, you know, just being able to enforce that pressure once again with the standing for a restand situation after, you know, just creating a vortex, essentially, and just making it that much harder to deal with. Okay, back 3 attempt, no hit confirmed. BL, I saw that. Yeah, we're gonna have words about that one, buddy. No hit confirming on the back 3 string. The down 2 trade doing excellent for him, though. The
Hold on, hold on. Hold on, Falcon, hold on. Hold on.
Oh. Well. Oh, yeah.
Well,
I want to say poor Law Corridor, but...
This is so unfortunate, Falcon. This is so unfortunate if you lock order, man.
I feel like it's just one of the scariest things in neutral, isn't it? It's like, but you have to respect it. In that situation, it really just caught Law kind of sleeping over there, but you know, he has another chance with this round. VLJV gets the 1-2, doesn't get a punish over there, he doesn't get a proper confirm, he's gonna get the corner reposition though, go towards that KB. Oh, what an air to air.
Yeah, low quarter, stay alive here. Gripping ice! Is that the first time we see this?
Yeah, literally like the first time he's used it this set. Forward 2, ice ball right over here, keeps him standing as well, finally gives him a chance to break away. Not like it's gonna matter too much. This is a very difficult situation to make a comeback in, but if there's ever a character to make a comeback, Jackie, being explosive as she is probably the right pick for it, but the ice ball punish.
Wow. Trip guard with an ice ball? don't see that every day.
You do not. And VLJV playing as solid as ever. Mitsu, we've had 3-0s every single set over here in round 1. It's been a 3-0 across the board from everyone. I could not picture half the players over here actually getting 3-0'd. You know what I mean? Like, it feels crazy because Law Corridor is an exceptional player, as is Zoker, as is Mirko, and, you know, like, as is Frazier. It's like, but now all of them are in the losers bracket, and the score is not representative of just how close these games really are. Like, this is, when we said this was a stacked bracket earlier on, we really meant it's a stacked bracket.
I think we had a similar situation earlier in EU East where round 1 has been almost like a speed run, but later in the tournament, you know, we had very even matches.
Yeah.
And even these, you said it yourself, not 3-0s, but it's just one of those things, man, that one of these players just was a bit more clutch when the situation, when the heat was on, really, and that's why the score is 3-0 across the board. Might as well be the first time we see this in the Mortal Kombat Pro competition.
Could be. It could be. But, you know, we have excellent matches in store for all of you later on, further on in this bracket. But before we can get into all that stuff, we want to give a quick throw over to the Mortal Kombat 11 merch store. And as you can see over here on the screen, you can rep your realm. Visit the Pro Competition merch store. That link that you see on screen, amazon.com/Mortal Kombat. And, you know, be sure to rep your region. You can get the Pro Competition ones. You can get character-themed ones over here. But if you are someone within the Intercontinental Combat regions, if you are part of the North American League, the Liga Latina, whatever it may be, if you feel like repping your region and doing them proud or really just showing off in these really cool Mortal Kombat styled shirts, then you know where to get them. But before we can get into all that action that we mentioned earlier on and progress further through this bracket, we're going to throw over to a quick break. So we hope you stick around and we'll be back in a few minutes with more Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate.
And a very warm welcome back to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition here at the Intercontinental Combat. Week number 6 for EU West. Round 1 was an absolute speed run, 3-0s across the board. Let's see if round 2 is going to be the same. I'm Mitsu Owens, joined now by PND Ketchup.
I mean, I think there's been a lot of that for you guys in general today. I think it was a very similar thing for EU East, but today, very much just a continuation of that common storyline of we just kind of find out who the strongest players in this side of EU actually are. You know, that's why we have like the Sweet Fraziers, the VLJVs, the Josh GQ, of course. But we get a wonderful amount of, I think, character representation, but also a great amount of competitive Mortal Kombat 11 representation thanks to PS4 tournaments. There's a reason everything is presented by PS4, and that is because compete.playstation.com is the one-stop shop for all things competitive Mortal Kombat related. The Open series is another constant tournament series that pretty much happens every single month at this stage. They have just announced that there is a continuation of this in April. The next qualifier is tomorrow, and there are weekly invitationals on Tuesdays that you play for on Mondays, with a 5th tournament monthly finals at the end of the month, as you might expect. So plenty of Mortal Kombat, and there's plenty more of it today. As we can see here, Mitsu owns Makaran versus Josh GQ is the winners finals, but up next, our next round of losers. So again, Mirko and Javier have their Scorpion mirror match, which we've seen tons already, and then Sweet Frazier versus VLJV.
This is going to be a run back when it comes to the countries. Again, an Italian player taking on the Spanish fellow MK Javier. So it is going to be, most likely, I would be highly surprised if this was anything else but a Scorpion mirror.
Yes, so history has kind of taught us in the past that we have Scorpion mirror first, and then depending on how things go, we might see a character change from Mirko. And that's been kind of, he'll do the Scorpion mirror when possible, and then if his back's really against the wall, I think he's been known sometimes to go with the Jackie. But it's like a game 5 situation where, you know, it's hard to predict whether he's actually going to do it or not. He'll just go for it as like a trump card, I guess, last minute. But we almost always start with the Scorpion mirror, and sometimes even the same variation too. So it is a full-on mirror of mirror, but definitely the 2 most successful Scorpions of this part of the world for sure.
So, both players are in the lobby, and yeah, to start things off, no surprises.
Of course.
The
Yeah.
hourglass.
The Scorpion Mirror. At least it's not the same skin, so we can, you know, make out who is who. Both Burning Spear,
They've got
both
the same
Hell-
variations, though, yeah. That Burning Spear and Teleport Cancel, something
Yeah.
that both of them really, really like to use. Kind of complements that throw-heavy game plan, especially with that forward throw doing that fat 16%, not too shabby. But
Okay.
now, Mirko and Javier. Javier has looked really strong recently, though, so I'm kind of curious to see how this one goes.
So Mirko is MK9 Scorpion, for those of you at home. Okay, Javier with the
There's
classic
the classic.
Scorpion.
I'm going to jump in and Teleport Cancel. You expect an anti-air. Well, think again, mate. And we begin. Javier scoring first blood. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, there's that flawless block. Clean stuff already here.
Thankfully, not getting punished for that spear. I think that was a delay wake up out of MK Javier. Beautiful standing one anti-air. At 32%.
Oh, that back one is so clean. The breakaway has been forced. That meaty back three, always ready for it. Scorpion players sticking out that overhead. Hard to see, hard to react to, especially now. And that forward throw is going to give some kind of situation. And almost completely even Stevens on the life. Now, who's going to get that fatal blow first? We're kind of within fatal blow territory on both sides. And I don't mean to get it, I mean to win the round by using it. Oh, back-to-back grab. That's the play. We have a bar of defensive meter. Is it going to get spent? Nope.
Also have 16 seconds on the clock catch up.
Mirko refusing to be opened up right there.
Oh, and I think now he just has to
wait.
block, does he? Oh, is this a chip on situation? No, I don't think it's this.
You can afford to get grabbed now. There's absolutely no chance. No chance that Mirko is going to swing. The second we kind of hit that 6-second mark, it's, yeah, you can grab me now, do your worst. Because he'll still survive afterwards with more health. And that forward 3-4, expecting some kind of stagger. We're punished!
I know what it is today, man. A timeout between two Scorpion players. This is unheard of.
That's actually a very good point. When's the last time you see a Scorpion mirror?
Oh, that's not a thing.
It is now. Oh, there's the interrupted attempt. That's not good. That will now be a full combo for Mirko. No need to spend any extra bar. Just get the side switch and the good damage. All the same. Not going to try. Getting touched by that forward 4, but Javier just didn't seem to believe in it. Backdash on the +2. This is the element. We're staggering the standing 2 as well. Just because that string is +2 does not mean Scorpion does not have answers in the mirror match. Now, expecting some kind of flawless block, maybe. A block. Wow, that down 2 out of nowhere. Yo, the late. Oh my god. Down 2 on block into flawless block up 2 into round win. When's the last time you've seen that?
Mirko just being Mirko, man.
That was probably the most Mirko-ist thing I've ever seen.
Mirko striking first blood. Take the first game in the Scorpion showdown.
Good lord, that was cocky. That
That
really was.
That was
A down 2 on block. And then a flawless block. It's got Mirko all over. And I think, honestly, this is where the differences between these two players has always come through. That Mirko is a much more, I'd say, high octane. Javier is fearless for sure and isn't afraid to kind of go for some of those big moments, I guess, in typical Scorpion fashion, but is very efficient at that. Whereas Mirko has always had that kind of young blood playstyle. Never afraid to just let it rip or have the crispiest reactions or go for something that's otherwise outside the box. In that case, down to flawless block is as outside the box as it gets.
Round 1. Fight.
Here it is, match number 2. Remember, this is the losers getting that back through instantly. And the 1-1 letting go block is MK Javier, another back 3. Man, I don't know what he tried
teleport.
there, yeah.
I mean, clearly some kind of execution error, I can imagine, but to be honest, actually, not the biggest punish in the world either, because he's still really good on life, going for the less obvious throw direction, throwing Javier out of the corner. In the best case scenario, that would set up an escape failed.
All of these back 3s, man, are hitting their mark. No anti-air attempt, getting cleanly hit with that 4th 4. Spinning all the cash.
Not the first time a raw jump into forward 4 has worked, I might add, actually. In the last game, the same thing happened. Javier didn't fully believe in it. Now, there's the respect being shown on the 1-1. Unfortunately, clipped by the second hit, but no big answer. Javier, that second hit landing, there's no way you can confirm that. Here comes the grab now from Mirko. 10% life left.
Oh, no!
Payout. Not quite.
I mean, that wasn't even a micro duck catch-up. That was an intentional neutral duck, man. He was looking him in the eyes and saw that grab coming. Had all the time in the world to punish him for that throw. What a read.
That was just a straight up, I'm going to hold down and assume that's just how it's going to work. But, you know, it's a good call-out to make, though, to be fair. Oh, bigger call-out, though, on that neutral jump. And with the buff activated, even after the break, lots of damage has been done. They both have their Burning Spear active, though. No tech here on the throw. But, I mean, we have to understand why he went for that throw in the first place in that last round. He had 10% life. If that grab worked, it would have won the round. It's as simple as that. And I think with that being a neutral duck, Mirko might have had a bit of a nod of approval. Like, okay, yeah, fair enough, you got me. You're going to be prepared to win a game on it. You've got to be prepared to lose now. Fatal blow. This is going to do big damage and create another kind of stroke throw mix-up. We're going to have less than 13% life left, and now this gives Javier an opportunity. Staggers to standing 2. Chip damage is good as well. Wow, the reversal grab, he's still fearless.
Watch the back 3, though. Watch the back 3. Wake up 1-1, though. The throw tech, I gotta think that was a back throw.
Oh! Oh my God, he's still going.
Mirko, showing no fear, no respect was put in him with that neutral. Big first hit. What is this? 36? Yes. Another grab.
I actually like how Mirko is sticking true to this game plan. If you have a grab-heavy game, you kind of can't let those neutral ducks enforce that conditioning. You can't let it stop you. Mirko sticking true to the game plan. A spear ender for big damage, and now just enough time to build another grab. I'm telling you, Mr. Owens, he's sticking to it.
Not being conditioned, man. Refuses to be conditioned. Hold on a minute, though. Escape fails. This might be good for MK Javier.
Oh, he pulls out the flawless block. Big risk, big reward. But Mirko, realistically there, Mr. Owens, I think did the right thing by just blocking. Although the forward 4 spear, that looks random, but for those that have watched enough Scorpion to know that essentially forward 4 into 2, there is a flawless blockable gap there, right? And that's a common one that a lot of people interrupt here in EU because Scorpion's a popular character. Forward 4 spear catches you releasing block to flawless block the next hit, and then you get stunned. It's a huge call out, but one that can both condition and yield big reward. Mirko had no reason really to go for the flawless block though, because he had so much life. So the big play made by Javier just gave himself on a silver plate, and now it's 2-0 for the Italians.
Might be Scorpion versus Scorpion throughout the set. Unless, you know, we might see a game 5. That's when Mirko might decide to go with another pick. But so far, it's looking really good for Mirko, man. And this might be another 3-0. The 4th one. The 5th one, actually.
Round 1. Fight.
Continuing the day of one-sided results so far. There's that 1-1-2 to power through. Empty jump down 3. Very classic Scorpion maneuver at this point. Steals a bit of a turn. And we're creating a safe distance. Ooh. Oh, the buffer!
Come on, man.
Love watching a Scorpion player buffer that standing button. The damage is insane.
Oh, wow, it worked!
Rip.
It worked!
No way. Any of us are ready for that one, It's owned.
Escape failed as well. This is really good for MK Javier. It's too late with the punish attempt that was here. Pick up 1-1 though. It's a grab on his own. Closing the gap, dashing in. Puts himself in the corner.
The counter on the forward 3-4 as well. Perhaps maybe not expecting. However, forward throw. Yo, this is looking like Mirko's day today when it comes to Scorpion Mirror. I know Commentator's Curse is a real thing, but he's historically had a bit of a tricky time against Javier, but it feels like today of all days, he's kind of that one step ahead every time.
Yeah, look at the patience as well, man. Look at the patience from Mirko. Time slowly becoming a factor as
15
well.
seconds. Another timeout, perhaps? Nah, never mind that back to...
Wow. That was really risky, man. The minute that back two was whiffed, that is death on recovery. Match point, Mirko! For 3-0.
Oh, low profile. Full combo ones now. Javier. Dash it. Another low. Hang on a minute. Mirko going for those big defensive choices. None of them being blocking right now. Losing over half of his life.
Just refusing to block at jump. He's not blocking.
Nope. Round could be a bit of a write-off as Mirko gets the 1-1 confirm. Hang on a minute. I mean, I'm never going to say never, but this would be a pretty crazy comeback. Now there's no defensive bar. Javier has nothing.
It's so doable. The throw escape as well. Live catch up. He's still alive catch up. Gets this. Oh, does he spin it? No. The back row.
Oh my good lord. Wait, Javier, he's got a defensive bar.
And the dough one check.
The most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen.
That was so smart though, man. What's it gonna be? Grab, back three, back one. Nothing. Hold this down one. MK Javier staying alive.
Just a scratch.
Almost a huge comeback from her.
Escape. He's grabs. Oh, but the second Javier tries to grab him in return. That hurts so much. And he does drop the combo though. It's quite a tight one to get. Oh no! Oh god, and it got the breakout. That's going to be so important for Mirko as he now goes for Burning Spear. Really? Oh god.
He got that one.
Man's getting punched in the chin right now. Knock those fillings out. Oh my god!
Back
Smith
to back
he did
to back.
3 forward threes in a row.
Wait, what was that?
I don't know.
He canceled.
I don't even know.
It could have brutality.
The day of Mirko.
I think it could have brutality. But regardless, Mirko, another 3-0 just like that, advancing over MK Javier in the Scorpion Showdown. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so if we're going by history alone, you could say that maybe actually Javier had somewhat of an advantage there through Pro Comp. I know they've played a whole bunch of times in tournaments, so you know Pro Comp is one of many things to go by for previous results, but a 3-0 for Mirko. I think this mostly spells or is a demonstration over how dominant Mirko has recently been looking. So he's been a player that has been on quite a rise recently. I know that yesterday, Champion of the Realms, which was a prominent community tournament, shouts to Caboose and Destroyer as always for that. They did an EU edition. I believe Mirko took that actually. And that was a tournament that happened simply yesterday. So a huge shout outs to Mirko for continuing this absolute dominance where when Mirko's on fire, no pun intended, to play Scorpion, it feels like he can beat anyone in EU. When he's having his day, and this could be another one of those days. But don't want to speak too soon. That was still losers bracket, and there's still plenty of good players left in this top 8. But that's the kind of Mirko that has been showing up for at least a week, where he's back to that absolute pinnacle of how we know he can play. On to the next match, though.
I do want to quickly point out that it was a really tight set between a 4th seed in Mirko and a 2nd seed in MK Javier, and I think this result today will put Mirko ahead of MK Javier, but by like 10 or 20 points, just to give you an idea of how tight it is in the race to make it to the regional finals as well. But speaking of that, let's jump into the second match of losers round 2, which is going to be Sweet Fraser versus VL.
It's a matchup I'm looking forward to because we're likely to see a character that Noob Saibot can really hit the hardest against. And this is entirely, I think, unrelated to meta and everything else. I just really like watching the fact that Sweet Fraser has got those noob optimals down. And against a lot of the characters that VLGV plays, it's actually something that Noob Saibot should be able to have a bit of a field day with. Now, that's just on the assumption that's one variation we see. Sweet Fraser is absolutely my favorite Noob Saibot in the competitive circuit because when we first discovered that Ultimate was going to allow custom variations and moves to interchange between each other, Noob Saibot was the first character I thought of that, right, this character is going to become a lot more dangerous, and the specialists that like Noob Saibot are going to be able to thrive a lot more because now you can change one piece of utility here and there for each matchup, but more importantly, this guy's going to start hitting more damage somehow than he already did. And Sweet Fraser is the absolute example of that. Now, he is going to have a tricky time here because VLJV plays Shang Tsung. And a lot of Noob Saibots out there, even in Ultimate, will still say they're not the biggest fan of this matchup. I think it was way, way, way worse before, because at least Noob Saibot has like full screen to contest now, but it's still a matchup that Shang Tsung does well in. So this is a good pick from VOJV.
Why exactly do you think this is favorable for Shang Tsung?
Ground Eruption and Corpse Drop combined with Noob Saibot's terrible movement. He very much gets zoned out. Now, if he gets an early life lead, however, this is where things definitely get a bit different to how they once were, because at least now the introduction of the Spirit Ball plus other moves, he has something to challenge. So the Slide and Spirit Ball combined at least gives you a bit more of a fighting chance here. It used to be a terrible, terrible, almost unwinnable.
Do see the life leads. Sweet Frazier.
Now that's a favorable trade now for Sweet Frazier. That Spirit Ball doing its 9% damage. That is one hell of a projectile to trade with. But I gotta emphasize the importance of an early life lead. If Shang gets it on you, that's where everything changes. Lovely down 4 anti-air. I love the sickle snag. That forward 2 becomes important, especially when you punish Ground Eruption. The down 4 anti-air into forward 2 sickle snag. Noob Saibot gets 30% for an anti-air, but that's not too bad, is it?
10% left. Hold on a minute, man. You gotta watch your legs before it's Sweet Frazier.
Oh, the risky stuff pays off.
You will know fear.
Working out so far.
Fight.
Sweet Frazier. Corpse Drop.
Anyone knows conquering the difficult matchups, it will be Sweet Frazier.
Yeah.
I think he's not only one of the best Noob Saibot players in the world right now, but I actually think one of the most underrated in general. Because Noob Saibot has simply gotten better and better.
Good jump out. Really dialed that in. Firm.
This is where the round's going to be a bit tricky. The forward 2. Unfortunately, the grab whiffs. Not quite able to get the active frames. Grotech, take it off me. Can't do anything about ground eruption from that distance. There's the anti-air. Sickle snag. That's that ender 2. Build up the slide. Build up the crushing blow.
Oh, he wasn't there in time with the punish. Break away into the slide. 12%. The throw is going to be death. 1. And yeah, 1%. I mean, yeah, that spells big trouble. 1 round apiece.
Always a tricky situation, but Sweet Frazier, if he can keep VLJB in this corner, it's where Noob Saibot completely erupts as a character. And that's already 3 more clones! No break here. VLJB waiting patiently, looking for the grab game. Noob Saibot's
Oh!
He's dead. He is absolutely going to be dead here. Oh! He didn't quite have the KB. He went for it just in case. If he had enough clones, that would have been the death. But at this point, he may as well have it in the bag.
Man, I thought you were kidding when you said he is dead. Man, did that one hurt in the corner.
If he had Crushing Blow Tackle, that would have been death. I think he must have hit like 8 or 9 clones. Just went for it just in case. But you know what? Oof! You know I just said that right when you've got your back to the wall, that's where Noob Saibot totally changes. The good thing there was screen positioning. Sweet Frazier got VLJV where he wanted him to be in that final round, and I'd say he didn't give him a chance to leave, but I mean, he hit him like twice. That's just what Noob Saibot does in the corner. And a wonderful maximize. But, oof, I love watching a Noob Saibot of this caliber. I really do. VLJV did the right thing with this Shang Tsung, and Sweet Frazier, he's just so good in the matchup. And that's one element here, is that if any Noob Saibot is going to be ready for those rough matchups, it will be him. This guy fights Cetrion all the time, Shang Tsung all the time. He knows the matchup like the back of his hand.
And VL still believing in his Shang Tsung. You know, VL having an arsenal of characters himself, so I'm somewhat surprised that he sticks with it. Not that it was a matter of character, really, that first game, but still.
Ooh, the high up
Personal
block.
grab.
Yeah, the grab game's been good so far. Noob Saibot, I know his grab game mid-screen doesn't normally help him because he sends them full screen, but what a life lead. At the end of the world, there's the flawless walk, I tell you. This guy knows the matchup. You ever get a flawless walk into that much damage? Oh my god!
Into corner carry as well. Ouch. Yeah, that was a good breakaway. That would have hurt quite a bit.
VLJB is in a really difficult position. Does get the magic jump in, though, at the right time. This is... Honestly, this isn't even looking like a bad matchup. I know that a lot of Noob Saibot players still dislike the matchup, but I think this is a testament to how well Sweet Frazier plays Noob Saibot. Optimized. The variations are all specifically catered to what character you're against. In this case, every single move that Sweet Frazier has allows him to compete with Shang in some capacity. Empty jump 1-1. Defense block. Oh, that could have been 30%, or at least breakaway. Unfortunately, down 4 whiffs. Rare footage of that happening.
Very consistent with his down force today.
That noob. Oh! Shot. Here we go again. Free chip, free poke, that ground eruption.
No, it was the time with the punish. The throw.
Uh-oh, he's dead. BLJV challenging that in the corner is going to be a death sentence. And an easy pickup. Sweet Frazier making this Shang Tsung look like a complete non-issue. And I asked the question, Mitsuones, do we see a character change here?
I think so.
We look at Shang Tsung and that makes sense on paper. But Sweet Frazier is playing this. So this is a philosophy, I think, that I've always heard a lot of players use for as long as I've been in the FGC. When your character still has a unfavorable matchup, if you just make sure that you play that, as long as it's not like a, 8-2 or something ludicrous, if you still play that matchup better than your opponent does, you're still going to be all right if you're just that good at an unfavorable matchup that people are likely to pick against you. Now, Geras. We are probably going to see, if we see the Geras get the win here, I would definitely go as far to say as Sweet Frazier will stick with Noob, but probably change variation.
It's Dark Side Geras as well.
Oh, yes. So, Geras does have some elements of counter zoning. The Quicksand is a really good answer versus Noob Saibot historically, but against this caliber of Noob, that's where things change. I haven't seen this matchup too much since Ultimate, I will admit.
Round 1. Fight.
So VL betting his tournament live on Geras. Let's see how it works out. If it does.
Already. The forward 2-2 into back 3, the classic Noob Saibot.
Oh, the Cyclone as well. All right.
Esports pose. Geras, having that immediate corner escape is going to be nice. Not getting bullied in the corner by a Noob Saibot is going to mean a great deal when VLJV, his home, has been in this corner so far, looking for a mix-up. In this case, not quite. The reversal throw keeps the forward facing. VLJV getting overwhelmed constantly by this Noob Saibot pick. Oh, the pickup again!
The pickup, yeah, beautiful stuff. Does he get out of the corner at least? No, it is going to be Sweet Frazier with the match point, who's just been all over VL this set.
That's the far clone for sure. Get me out of here. And also look pretty down esports, if I do say myself. Neck chop. Straight back into the situation. Hit. No confirm though.
Opening with the 4-2. Sandclone is there. Surely use it. Yeah, finally out of the corner. Important against Noob Saibot.
Yeah, this is going to be an evolution of the matchup. You cannot allow Noob Saibot to control where you are on the screen.
I think that's punishable, man.
Oh, he drops the combo!
I think it's punishable. Oh, hold on a minute. Here's his time. Late breakaway. I don't know how to feel about that.
Need to hope there's some kind of comeback, but VLGV has no reason to get opened up by that standing 2 yet. Now, escape failed. Hang on. Fatal blow combo. Crushing blow grab.
Wow.
I'd say would win the round, but he just got anti-aired. By the anti-airs.
And getting corner carry as well. Good situation for VL, man. This Geras pick working out so far.
Somewhat signs of life, but we have to keep in mind that grab hasn't been teched yet, so the double throw KB still exists, and in this being a match point for Sweet Frazier, still there's an opportunity to be explosive with the damage output.
Mona's out. And even Chip is annoying at this point. You're just shifting, teleporting around like Geras is right now.
VOJV, I do like this discipline though. Don't get caught.
Oh no! The minute you said that, being a bit overzealous with the command grab.
He had the right call out on the armor break, but didn't quite get the timing. But never mind, he whiffed enough that we get the KB the same.
Off the overhead. That is not a good, not a good trade at all for VL. Lone is out. He's out of there. More sand traps. Does he find one? Is it trip guards? Watch
Still
the
got
knee.
30 seconds to work with. Still have 30 seconds.
Oh, that is
Grab.
huge. That is huge, Ketchup. That hit is huge. 1-1. Down 1. Down 1. Down 4. Oh, the respect to celebrate.
No! Hang on. Wait, no KB. No KB. He's safe.
10%. The time though. The time though.
Oh!
Oh! This Zangief jumping into the command grab. Such risky play from BL. But it was good. BL does stay alive. And finally, Ketchup. No more 3-0s. How about that?
Garrus has been a good pick. And I think in general, we actually look at the characters that VLJV is using here for Sui Frazier. He kind of had the character pick victory before we started this. He has the Shang Tsung, he has the Garrus, all characters that are very good at fighting Noob Saibot. But Sui Frazier, he has been playing these matchups incredibly well, but the Garrus a completely different beast. However, keeping an eye on the variation that he picks, because I think he's now gone in for launching teleport. Like I said, that variation that we saw Sui Frazier use at first, specifically to fight Shang Tsung, not Garrus. Wasn't really using the Spirit Ball, didn't have a chance to, but now what's it going to be? Shadow Slide, Air Slam, and the Shadow Portals. So basically seeing double with a launching telly. And this is what I expected, because look, we didn't see the Spirit Ball, so you don't need it. Let's just go with other utility that helps us out a lot more. Wow.
Score for BL. A lot of pokes from both of these players. Getting the
Too
grab.
many from VLJV though. Opening himself up for a down 1 in return. Ooh. Oh, the whip punish! That was really clean stuff.
Wow.
Big damage too. Oh, but he goes for the grab and eats a uppercut in the chin for it. Safety. Wow, he
Down 4 as
down
well.
4 so preemptively.
Oh, the drop though!
That is a really hard combo to go for. 2-1-2 into forward 2-2. The forward 2 is easy, but it's getting the extra hit, not as easy as it looks. And now match point for Sui Frazier.
Third one in this set. Sui Frazier, man, so consistent once again, man, with these down 4 anti-airs. So impressive. BL getting the grab.
Next
Hitting
time.
again.
VLJV,
That's
he
really
needs to mix
scary.
long enough to get damage, but also build up that defensive bar. For when he inevitably gets put in the corner, kind of like this.
Overcommit though with the forward 2 string. Kept himself safe.
Sure hop over the back 3.
Rope skipping a bit there is BL. Looking really good here to defend another match point. Can he do it?
Wait a minute, the reverse throw putting you straight into the corner.
Uh-oh. Sand clone,
Right,
maybe. Where's the sand clone? Gotta get out of there. Oh,
Yo,
what is that
yeah,
one
yeah.
though? Yeah.
Anti-Eris indeed. Oh,
Looks at the corner. Does that kill? I don't think so. 4% left. 2%. And the knee, the 4-3. Another match point. This has been the third one
Fight.
that VL has been defending. Can he do it a 4th time to stay alive here? Take us into a game 5.
this is to move into top 4 territory.
He wants none of it. Mid-screen. So is this a teleport? Doesn't really need to. Down 4 into Sand Trap. The tricky stuff coming out of VL. The tricky stuff.
We've definitely hit plenty of clones. I feel like we might have enough to build towards the crushing blow. The stagger on this 2-1. Doesn't want to be too predictable. Punish! We'll have to break this.
He doesn't
No
get
break.
jumped. He doesn't. But to be
You
fair.
sacrificed about 40% life against Noob Saibot though. That's
Oh
dead.
no! No.
He is going to break now, but oh wait!
He does not. Hold on, Ketchup. Hold on. This is Jarrus. Hold on. The succubus! No, he didn't punish it! He was right there, Ketchup. He could have forward 2 into the suck.
It's unfortunate,
That
I think,
sucked.
for the OJV there. It really was, because the reality was he kind of won the game of patience. So, right, the first no break was competing both because that's 40% damage basically that he sacrificed, and secondly, it was the corner carry that Noob Saibot will get from that entire sequence. So by doing that combo, he had you pretty much in the corner. But then afterwards, when you get opened up, not breaking there that was, I think, the good call, because that break seemed almost completely obvious, because surely in theory you have to do it, but if you do it straight away, Noob Saibot will back two and get some of the highest practical armor break damage in the entire game. That would have won. And then the last situation was kind of just whatever. Like, that almost felt like just a bit of a scramble, but you were put in a situation where it's hard decision after mishap. So I can't really fault VLJV for losing in that sense. But Sui Frazier, I said that this guy's my favorite Noob Saibot player to watch, and series like that is exactly why, that he can play into matchups that I don't think are all that favorable for Noob Saibot and still make them work because of just how much knowledge and expertise he has on the character. I love to see it.
It was a bit unfortunate, man, because we almost could have had a Game 5 situation, you know, and the re was there, man, but the punish, unfortunately, going with the sand trap, questionable stuff coming out of VL, and just like that, the Frenchman finds himself eliminated from the Germans. But regardless, getting a chunk of points to qualify for the regional finals at the end of the season as well. But before we get into winner's side of action, it's going to be Macaran versus Josh TQ. Let's quickly give a big thank you to Astro Gaming, the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. Our gear, what you hear, what we hear, is brought to you by Astro Gaming. So go ahead and visit astrogaming.com to check out their officially licensed products, which are available right now. Big thanks to Astro Gaming for, you know, continuously supporting the NRS competitive NRS scene.
Astro have been a prominent partner in the Netherrealm community for a while, and even the greater FGC. It's always great to see that much support. And let's take a look at this bracket here, as it'll be Mirko versus Sui Frazier in the losers side, as we have the top four coming up. And now up next, winners finals between Josh TQ and Macaran. So guaranteed Scarlet from Macaran. Who Josh is going to play, that is another question. I'm not sure, honestly. Known previously as that Aaron Black specialist, but as of the past few months, absolutely, especially post-Ultimate, uses a whole bunch of different characters. So what will the choice be this time?
Aaron Black. Scar.
Aaron Black, going in with the absolute favorite.
And scored, like I said, no surprises there.
Oh, definitely not. Macaran, one of the most decorated Scarlet players on the planet right now. Regular top 8 attendee with one of the best Scarlets you really can find anywhere. Masterclass of a character that is definitely looked down upon, I think, by a lot of the competitive space. Seen as a bit too honest, I think. Low tiers in this game, with the exception of a couple. Like, I think Rambo definitely feels like a struggle character. Shao Kahn in a lot of ways. But Scarlet is one of those characters that, by her own merits, she's not awful. She's just too fair, I think, sometimes. She hasn't got enough dirt for the absolute high tiers, but in the hands of an absolute god specialist like Macaran, this character can still thrive and get those results, as we can clearly see here in winners finals, top 3
Does Koto
minimum.
understand what you are?
He knows I fight for the fun of it.
He should pray you do not grow bored.
Round 1.
Here it is. Winners finals. Macaran versus Josh TQ. Scarlet versus Aaron Black.
Wow, immediately into the boiling point to catch your pressing. Okay, we're starting to establish layers here in the first round.
No dirt, huh? Man, Macaran is coming out swinging here this first round.
This will be a matchup that Josh TQ knows extremely well, because he plays the character at a fantastic level himself. He'll use some of the more unorthodox moves. However, knowledge will still be there, but Macaran, ooh, the clean footsies as always. I love watching this guy play, never get tired of it.
Fight.
Ooh, micro duck. Down to Peacemaker. Love seeing it used now on Black, makes a bunch of his buttons a bit more attractive thanks to the safety and pushback.
Back to harassment. Breakaway as well. Man,
Wow.
that up 3, that is just tricky.
Oh, the teleport out, but the down 2 immediately.
Full slide for sure. No, back grab. Yeah, that was the right call, actually. Or the kill.
The fact that the up 2 whiffed right as the teleport goes through, and then we see the immediate down 2 crushing blow. One round apiece, though.
2 more. And the down one. Wow, canceling time.
Only need one.
Command grab, 17%, man. Oh, it is the puddle. More. To gain some space, man.
Definitely looking for some kind of whiff punish there as well with Josh. Corner pressure belongs to Aaron Black now. Oh,
yes.
why did you go into the advancing mid? It gives Makaran a chance. 2 heat.
Wow. He's got so much life back in a matter of like 3 seconds. Big hit as well. And the bar though.
Again, the pushback, those up twos do not add up in this specific matchup, it seems.
Makaran not flinching.
Oh,
And yeah, he
bullets
didn't have bullets, yeah. 11% left, another up 3, and you are potentially dead, but he doesn't have one.
No.
Not gonna matter though. The Scott shots sealing the deal.
Aaron Black wins.
That was a really nice ending though. To teleport out, to try and survive just a little bit longer, but really kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. Josh TQ able to take that first game here. And it's always great to see Josh going back to this Aaron Black. I've seen Scarlet from him, I've seen Johnny Cage, I've seen Sindel. And that's just to name a few. I think a Fujin as well. We've actually seen a Fujin from him of great quality. But Aaron Black is really the character that he made the name for himself with. You know, and it's always wonderful to see him putting in work with the original main, the original favorite. In that first game, while definitely no easy task. Great start for him. Makaran going back in with the Scarlet as expected.
Shaolin Trap Dungeon.
Let's see how game 2 plays out. That up 3, man, that was so strange. I'm still thinking about that. It has deceivingly high pushback, it seems like, on block, Aaron Black's.
Oh yeah, Aaron Black's
The
up
short
two
top.
is always a weird one because like
Fight.
it goes very diagonally up, but the
flaws
range
block
is
attack, yeah.
most unusual, yeah.
And that one whipped
Very, very
twice,
good.
right?
Yeah, 2 different situations. Cut grab, we're starting to already establish that important game plan. Because hey, look, if you get a light lead like this, oh no, one of those breakaways, aka mistake away. Hate to see it. That's now going to give you no opportunities. And now the damage is good. Acid on the floor. Oh.
And damage on tongues.
Oh, big whip.
Time with the punish, getting it down 1. Almost block from Q. Never count out Josh the Q, man.
Oh, never.
Just
Never.
like that.
This
Look
guy's
at
clutch
that,
is
man.
through the roof.
I don't
Always
think
ready.
this is going to be that, but it's like a very good position, especially like with the puddle right in front of him, something like that. 3%. Surely the puddle? Oh, the Scott shot. Back 2. Wake up down 1. Wake up down 1, Ketchup. How do you
was
feel
a
about
risky, hard call out to make, but I guess of all the things that she could pressure with, the overhead, the double overhead could have been quite slow. Back 3, I can only assume. Pressuring with highs, I mean, risky decision, but if it works, who am I to judge? And out toss. The damage, 17% just like that. Bar teleport to at least escape the situation. Makaran spending the meter just to ensure we are not in the corner. How important that down Peacemaker is in a matchup like this. The advancing mid, a button that in a lot of situations Aaron Black would never have been seen dead using before Ultimate, but now the Peacemaker makes it a better option. Scarlet not able to punish it, but there's the whip punish.
Okay, Josh the Q not having any more bullets in his rifle. Probably looking for a big hit.
Slug shot looks like such a good answer. Yo, the flawless block. Off the down 4 plus break. Brown is always prepared. Looks for a whip punish, but not quite. Flawless block is great again, just to shut down some chip, perhaps sometimes mess with the frame data. Really depends on the character and situation, obviously. The fatal blow. Oh, that's a
There it
big
is.
challenge. Oof.
That's
God.
it, the hit he was looking for, man.
That was disgusting. You know, you said at the start of the round, no bullets, looking for that big, all-important hit, and go figure. that immediate whiff punish was the exact hit he was looking for. Now, Josh TQ looking so good right now.
A comfortable 2-0 lead over Macaron. Now, Josh TQ currently third in the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition standings for EU West. And you know, the beautiful story for Macaron coming into winners finals as the last seeded player in this week, 17th to be precise. So this week alone might double his points, depending on where he ends, even triple.
This is decision time for Macaron. Oh!
Cetrion it is going to be. From Macaron, huh?
You know, Macaron really likes playing Scarlet, but sometimes I get an impression from Macaron that this Cetrion pick can sometimes be a, not necessarily admitting defeat, but backs against the wall and you feel like there are no other options. Because I've seen this plenty of times, and the Cetrion often ends up being just the other character that is lost to. A matchup that Josh would have played time and time and time again. Let's see.
I think it's gonna be good though, because you know it's not like Cetrion is a poor character, and especially you know he has this safety cushion here. He's currently down 0-2, but this is winners, man. You can still test the waters, so maybe this will work, or at least you know give him a piece of information. Maybe you can use this later in losers. This pick.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, you're definitely picking a better character. So
Right.
It's not like picking Cetrion is ever going to be a detriment because she's top 1. You might, but you kind of just need to see that next level in some sort of this character, because if it's a regular everyday Cetrion, then Josh would have played that once or twice before. You know what I mean? However, clearly in this round, Macaron playing a real solid game of that Elder Goddess keep away. They're going to get that first round on the board back to back.
Man,
in a minute.
hold on. We've seen this time and time again. The minute Josh TQ is on life support, he just starts to go crazy.
Not much you can do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't challenge from that range. Not at all.
Especially with no defensive bar whatsoever.
Round
So Macaron, Cetrion looking good so far.
The meaty. Hang on a minute. Macaron challenging that wake up.
More bullets. Scott shot. Not committing.
I like the acknowledgement though that we don't need to use any KB. I don't even think that was counted. And regular slide. Chip avoided, but not for long, as just like that, Josh TQ bringing himself onto match point.
Final
Winning
round.
this game will absolutely send that UK Erin into winner's side grand final. One hell of a comfort zone, especially with this kind of stack bracket. Great days.
Once again though, catch up. No bullets for Josh TQ. One hit convert would easily be 30+%. Oh, he was fishing hard for that pressure blow.
Now we spend it.
And he still has that rifle crushing blow as well. Which is really bad news for Macaron.
No meter to his name whatsoever. Don't get hit now, especially with that bar of offense. Josh being able to get that slide. If he can land in that, that'd be great. But
Watch those
Macaron
Hell's Wrath,
defending
man.
for his life.
Watch those high Hell's Wrath. Gets the crushing blow though. Breakaway. 1% surely. Sure. No, Ketchup. Surely this could be a game. Surely.
Oh my God, that's gonna hurt.
This is Cetrion. Surely. Shipouts could be in the realm of the possible. This is not dead, by the way.
No, definitely
1%
not.
left. There is no defensive bar. What? This is just...
Yes.
You
what,
can't.
What happened there?
Cannot call this, man. You cannot call this.
What did he crouch under? He like sunk into the floor. He went so low. What? Someone, can someone clip that, please? I need to check the tapes.
A clip won't do it. You gotta watch that. Like, you could do a whole video analysis of the final, like, what, 6 seconds of that interaction, man. So many things happened in a matter of, like, a few frames
But,
that it's impossible to call what just happened, but you know, Josh TQ doing Josh TQ things, staying alive when he should on paper be dead.
Like, so Aaron Black, when he whiffs the drop kick and he hits the amp, he was so low to the ground that like he sunk into the floor for that final moment, right? He sunk into the ground for that. I have never seen. There's low profiling and there's whatever the hell that was. You know what I mean? That's like not even the same description. But Josh TQ getting the win, all the same, being able to make it work, and just like that, winner's side grand finals, as Makaran now lies in the losers finals. However, we now have top 4 to begin, basically, as now losers bracket will be jumping in, where I'm really excited for that matchup, Mirko versus Sweet Frazier. And before we do, let's have a quick chat about PlayStation. More importantly, PS4 tournaments and what it does for the competitive MK space right now. You can go to compete.playstation.com for both Pro Competition, which has all of its different regions and sub-regions, and also the Open Series for EU and CIS and North America. You can take part on Monday qualifiers, and if you qualify, you get invited back on Tuesday to play for weekly cash prizes, and there is a monthly final at the end of every month. The next qualifier to start April is tomorrow. So if you want to compete and take part in the Open Series, do it. There's no reason not to. If you are of one of the eligible regions, of course. But as we can see on this bracket, Makaran sitting pretty in the losers finals. Whoever he will fight will be either Mirko or Sweet Frazier, Mitsuones.
Should be an interesting one, but Josh TQ, man, that was something else, man. Like, usually, against Cetron especially, chip out is always a threat. I mean, the ground and pound, the deadly winds, the pinata, the Hell's Wrath. How do you survive against a Cetrion with 1%? I mean, that is a accomplishment in and of itself.
I still don't know what happened, to be honest with you.
Those 6 seconds were just too wild. Like I said, we need like a... Technically, we should have like a slow-mo replay to really like... That's a totally different thing. That might be analysis, not commentating the team. But let's go back to losers, man. Let's go back to losers. It is going to be Mirko versus Sweet Frazier. Probably going to be Noob Saibot versus Scorpion, the Battle of the Ninjas. And we are already starting the set, or the match, I should say. So let's see if there is going to be any secrets. No whatsoever between these two gentlemen.
The question you often ask is, what variation do we see?
Yeah.
This could be Spirit Ball Slide and Telly, Shadow Slide, Shadow Portals, and Spirit Ball. Ah, I actually made the exact call out on it. How about that? But this is going to be a matchup that I think that Mirko will definitely control the pace with. The question is, how does Sweet Frazier keep up with that speed? That's basically what we're going into this match thinking. Scorpion will have the neutral control, but Noob Saibot will have that damage outright.
Round 1.
Ooh, it's getting personal.
Whoa, that was so sick.
Here it is then, loser semifinals.
2 bars spent already. Nothing on hit though. So it's just been chip. Mirko. Forward throw, knocked down immediately. Just ask that question, what's coming next? Oh, he's just looking for a whiff and he can't quite get it. That down 3 to low profile. Lovely throw tech though from the Scorpion. Already saying no. Not allowed to throw me, however. Oof. Yeah, that back 1 finish. 39% for a bar. The damage of Shadow Portals is so good.
Escape as well. I'm really impressed with Mirko's defense today, man. He's been so patient.
Catching grab. Grab has been his magic button all tournament long, it seems. Low. Whoever can land it wins the round. Not that Mirko even really needs to use it at this point. Hang on a minute, the launch, and he can't break. That's going to be Sweet Frazier.
That was a tricky pickup, man. That was a tricky pickup. Barely was in range for that back 1 to connect. Escape failed. But significant for Scorpion. Burning Spear as well. Big opening for Sweet Frazier.
And even that giving you 32%. There's just no need to go for the full 2. There's no need to do anything. It's an easy confirm into teleport. Oh! Gigantic down 2 out of nowhere.
That hurts, man. That
Yeah.
hurts. When you whip that, like the worst whip. But hold on a minute. This is still very doable for
Especially
Mirko.
now. He wanted the fatal blow so bad.
I think Sweet Fridge was shaming so hard, man. Or
Oh my
twitching.
god! Mirko found the round. Like that. Out of nowhere, it seems.
And the string as well. Hold on a minute. You barely ever see that string come on Scorpion. But he ended in that string so he could keep him cornered, man.
Get the damage and keep the same side while at the same time still
That was
around.
beautiful.
Ooh, short hop out of nowhere. I mean, come on now. Somehow, this was all Sweet Frazier for so long, and then immediately, out of seemingly nowhere, Mirko has stole the round away, was dominating this one, but now Sweet Frazier getting a couple of major hits to fight back. It's been unusually back and forth in the blink of an eye. Spearbutt.
So many jumps, man. He's fishing for something. Throw escape.
Uh-oh. That's 2 bars gone.
Yeah, just like that, man. You can't break away probably for the remainder of the round. Saying that, almost has one back. Double fatal blow. Yeah, very
Mirko
even
gets
round.
flipped by it now, he's done.
Very even round. Is content with taking that throw. 16% left for Sweet Frazier. What's the play gonna be? And finally.
No fatal blow even. There were 2 rounds there where Mirko could have just tried to keep it real simple and just fatal blow, but it's just micromanagement and understanding of his own resources. If I don't need to do it, I'll just go for the simple stuff and get the job done, as now 1 game up. It's the composure and the clutch factor. You know when I said earlier today that when Mirko is on his A game, it feels like he can beat pretty much anybody. It really feels to me like this is one of his days. I don't want to curse it. I know commentary curse is absolutely a thing, but he is impressing the hell out of everyone today. And Sweet Frazier, no easy opponent. We've seen that so many times over.
Tarkatan War Camp.
Mirko jumping back so many times in that first game. Back jumps into a empty teleport, and the last one, that final run, that final one was the one that mattered the most. Got a lot of mileage out of that empty teleport, punishing whatever Sweet Frazier was punishing, or pressing rather, I should say. Game 2. He with the 1-1 into teleport. Oh, the patience of both of these guys. Look at that, man. And that was a almost frame perfect micro jump.
Oh, there's the
Teleport a bit too much.
though.
Yeah.
Break from Mirko. Sometimes you see players kind of wait to see if they can land the combo or not, but I think he's going to have to show that respect to Sweet Frazier. Absolutely. Happy to just hold on to the defensive bar.
The grab will put him on fatal blow territory. Oh, so patient, man. Can't stress this enough. Great track
Situation. The slide out of nowhere.
Point blank as well, but once again, the duck and the punish is going to be good. Mirko with the clutch.
Round 2.
Once again, a slow round. Ouch! Taking the spear crushing blow. Don't see that every day. Neck wanted to slide. The Tarkatan, no punish though.
No counter hit. likes that back three, always trying to stick out that long-range noob Cybot button, you know, one of his best tools, especially once you've got that shadow slide locked in. Speaking of good tools, though, 16% forward throw, thanks to the spear buff.
No escape from Mirko. He's now in Fatal Blow territory. And what a trip guard, man. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Double Fatal Blow. Mirko not pressing the button, not moving a muscle, rather, I should say.
This is a very Mirko thing to do! Oh, my days! He finds it again.
It's, I don't know, it seems like Mirko is just a bit more clutch in these situations, and I think it just goes to show how much Mirko has been growing as a player. You know, back like, I think just a few months ago, Mirko was, I feel like, just like be pressing all over the place to, you know, almost like desperately try to get a button. But nowadays, I feel like he's like really content with just, you know, taking his turn or waiting his turn or waiting for an opportunity to make it count, just like that.
Scorpion.
Taking the second game.
Noob Cybot. Shang Tsung's Island Rules.
Only one more game is between him and the losers finals, which is a lot of points, man.
I think these are frustrating games for Sweet Frazier to concede as well, purely on the base that Mirko is just displaying this frustrating level of clutch. And I don't mean that as like a negative either way, I just mean that Mirko is finding a way to inch out every single round that he's playing here, in situations where you definitely would look at it on paper and think that Sweet Frazier's got it in the bag, yet somehow, here we are, 2-0 for Mirko. He's keeping this composure all the way through, lovely whiff punish though, and has gone in, I think again, for a variation change. This one definitely being his air teleport version. The question is, can he do it? Because it seems like he dropped that combo right there, and now leaving damage on the table. Oh, man, the pressure, the 2-1 plus situations. Wow.
Oh, he was probably fishing for a duck. Yeah. It's just really respectful play. It seems like the
not so
wrong
much
teleport,
now.
though.
And he punishes the up kick. That is a rare punish that you do not see every day. Oh, you punish Mirko for him to punish you because of a well-timed breakaway. It be like that sometimes. Match point for Mirko.
It's just really unfortunate. The second I say that, man, some
Oh,
things
God.
happen. Oh, it wasn't range with the down 2 as well, man. Mirko's looking so good. No punish on the up 3 as well. I think that was a 2 actually. Gonna matter. Not getting punished. Sweet Frazier is on life support. We need to make something happen here. We might see another 3-0 here. Jumping all over the place. It's Mirko right now. Ooh! Auto respect is being shown. Mirko getting another grab. No tech attempt. Seems like from Sweet Frazier gets the tech now.
This rock-solid game plan of Sweet Frazier, something that Mirko hasn't really been worrying about so far. A lot of it comes down to this impeccable defense, and in the most unusual of situations, the hardest of reads that are all working out for him. Here comes a grab again. Sweet Frazier has got that noob Cybot fatal blow. Hasn't had a chance to use it all game long, but it normally is such an X factor, you know, for the damage it brings.
Time. What an anti-air from Sweet Frazier, man. 12 seconds on the clock.
10 seconds to make something happen. All right, the first grab. This is going to be a guess for game. What does Sweet Frazier do?
5. Down 1 under the grab catch up. Down 1 under the grab catch up. Oh my goodness.
Final round.
With 1
Fight.
second on the clock. Staying alive is Sweet Frazier, but boy oh boy, man. Barely. Mirko still on set point. Ouch. I think you could chip him a bit more, man. I think that's the 3rd time a down 2 has been completely whiffing.
Counter hit though. Sweet Frazier having spent his meter just now. So that's the whole thing about the safety. Oh, that was counter hit if only he believed. That would have been a punch in the face of 30%. The punish still from that far away. Most characters cannot punish it from that distance. Scorpion can. Oof.
17%. Oh, Wake Up 111 though. And the punish, I'm really surprised he didn't amp that slide, man. I'm really surprised he didn't amp that slide. I'm not sure what he was looking for. Maybe trying to fake stagger it. But that was his demise. Mirko taking it over, Sweep Ranger advancing to losers finals to solidify in the bracket for sure, man. For third place alone, that's 230 points, man. Adding to his 680 points, Mirko is looking really good to make top 8 at the regional finals.
He is, and he continues to be impressive. The Scorpion has always been his pick for the longest time, and in matchups like that where Sweet Frazier still played really well, you know, we have to give Sweet Frazier his credit, being able to always take Noob Saibot by himself into a tournament of this caliber and still place in that top 4 finish line is an impressive feat by its own right. But Mirko just seems to be a good week or so for him recently, doesn't it? Because just to remind everyone, he's had his fair share of success. Even outside of this, he's been in community tournaments. I believe he won Champion of the Realms yesterday, the EU edition. Shout out to Destroyer and Caboose. Great result for him. And a lot of these players were in that very tournament. So being able to still have the upper hand is really good stuff. But it now means that we're going to have Mirko versus Makaran in the losers finals.
And just a teeny bit, but I just want to empathize on Mirko, man. He has been going over Lockharder, now MK Javier, Sweet Frazier. It might be his magic week, man. We shall see as we progress in the tournament and see losers finals as he is taking on Makaran in a teeny bit. But before we get into that, let's quickly give a quick look, to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition merch store. Rep your realm and your region as you check out Amazon.com/Mortal Kombat to browse through Mortal Kombat apparel. You got t-shirts, you got gear for your phone.
I want the
Shoutouts
rain one.
Do we have one in the store?
I don't think so. I couldn't see one.
That?
I don't know if there's one been added since I last went, but I want to
one. So go ahead and check it out yourself to see if you can indeed rep your character. If not, at least rep your realm. It is late or deep in the tournament, man, as we find out who is going to be the EU West Week 6 winner. Is either Josh TQ, Makaran, or Mirko. The top 3 is decided. Let's see who is joining Josh TQ in grand finals. But before we get into that, I'll be tagging in Falcon as we go into a quick break. Just tune in for more Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition action in just a teeny bit. We'll see you after this.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. You are watching the MK11 Pro Competition Intercontinental Combat for EU West. And to close out today's show, it's been myself and Falcon. It's been a good day so far. We've had 2 tournaments here back to back. The top 8s have been really, really fun, but only 3 players are left for today's event. We have the losers finals up next, which is going to be Mirko versus Makaran. So probably Scarlet versus Scorpion. And then grand finals. Josh TQ waiting on the winner's side to fight basically the winner of our next match.
Yeah, and the next match is either going to be a run back or it's going to be, it's a run back either way, isn't it? Because Mirko lost to Josh earlier on in round 1 winners, and then Makaran losing in winners finals. So both these players really trying to secure as many points as they can. Now, in terms of points, there's so much more important for Makaran, who is now really just trying to accumulate as many as he can just from this one performance, because it will make life a lot easier going forwards with the remaining weeks, which are very few, approaching the regional finals, really. And, Josh just showing that level of consistency that we've been seeing from him for months online, for pretty much the whole year, actually, and just 3-0ing everyone, making it into grand finals. No surprise there. Mirko, as well, being a star of European competition, especially here on the west side, really showing exactly why his Scorpion is able to take him so far, being incredibly adaptive and reactionary and just generally displaying what high-level Scorpion looks like.
And it's something he's done for a very long time. We can expect, I think, 2 masters of their characters right now, and that's always a treat for us as viewers, especially characters that, look, we see loads of Scorpion, yeah, sure, but at this caliber is something that you don't see every day. And then Scarlet is a character that in a competitive space is a character that you just don't see much at all. And, you know, I know that she's considered a little bit on the weaker side, still capable in the right hands, but definitely no crazy dirt, has to work honestly for her wins. And sometimes that doesn't quite cut it in a competitive fighting game, as I'm sure anyone who's played one will know.
She definitely favors, you know, the people who like to operate very heavily on space control, you know, having really good normals for just being able to, you know, check people from far, good access to projectiles, boiling point being a really good move that you can use to just interrupt people and kind of just stunt that momentum. But Makaran, as you know, from day one, as far as I know, just been playing Scarlet. Right, he has been through and through a Scarlet player right from the beginning, and Mirko being a Scorpion main for years. I mean, since predating Mortal Kombat 11, it's no surprise that he's playing Scorpion in this game as well. But this kind of a matchup, I really can't imagine this being very fun for Scarlet.
It's a weird one because, at the very least, she doesn't just keep you away with projectiles that can be teleported in on. I know she has quite a few, but at least she's got buttons as well.
Yeah.
The question is, how much do they help her in this matchup? Because, again, one thing Mirko does when he plays this style of Scorpion is that he commands the pace, he commands the neutral. And how he does that really varies from character to character. But with Scarlet, he at least has the damage on deck. You know, if he does something that Makaran interrupts, flawless blocks or whatever, you have got that boiling point that's always going to play a huge factor.
Hellfire will not protect you.
Yeah, for sure. Rocking that really cool Cold War Scarlet skin as well, you know, I'd love to see that one. Not often you get to see it. I mean, barely often that we get to see Scarlet anyway, this far into a top 8. But as we start things off, Mirko already, right out the gate, just trying to get all up in the face of Makaran. He's going to answer back with this back throw. It's a very, very minute health lead, which doesn't even matter in the face of that jump 3.
Oh, that back 2 didn't go into a teleport. You have to know that there will be some kind of input there. Letting it rock. Hang on a minute.
Luckily for Makaran as well, not getting punished on wake up after that boiling point. Just about managed to get the down one check afterwards. Mirko on the offensive now. Gets opened up by the 4-4-3. Makaran definitely confirming this one into the boiling point for a clean 28%.
But this is the damage, right? This is the damage factor of Scarlet, especially in Ultimate, that now being able to give yourself those basic tools plus boiling point is where she now hits like an absolute truck, where she kind of didn't consistently before, whereas now, letting the stagger rock. Lets the whole thing go. The 4-3's not going to quite answer back though. Mirko looking for the 1-1, doesn't confirm it though, just going for it outright. No interruption attempt. Staggers it, doesn't give you a chance. Oh my good lord, that's it! That's the first round. Boom.
That definitely is. That forward throw, really good presence of mind from Mirko as well. Definitely likes to use his throws a lot. You could tell Makaran was trying to shimmy him at the end of that round as well. Didn't bite, didn't Mirko. And right here in the second round of this game, Mirko, you know, I don't even think it matters too much if he gets pushed in the corner. He's really just looking for a block string to help or cancel out to go back into the mid screen, where he's pretty comfortable.
Lovely anti-air though, that flawless block up too. Makaran got those forever and always. However, teleport, not his opportunity. Keeps the meter 2-1-2 crushing blow. May as well do it.
Guarantee that burning spear buff as well in the corner, where it's going to become ever so scary. Honestly, 16% on this forward throw right here, but fatal blow for Makaran. Very tense when you could tell he was trying to challenge the burning spear activation right there, just slightly too slow on it. Now this is a strike throw game right here. Makaran's gonna have to guess correctly. What an anti-air and conversion as well. Down 1 on the back 3. Still has that fatal blow to work with.
Picking up that Scorpion back 3 is still getting 25% damage. Not a lot of characters can say they can in fact do the lovely block on the overhead. Looking for a flawless block, and wait a minute! This round just slipped through his fingers. Makaran, God!
And this is like shades of what happened against Frazier as well, where he really just kind of walked them down to a point where they wanted to jump, and it was the 4-4-3 catching them while they were airborne straight to the fatal blow. And yeah, I mean, Makaran did really well at just keeping mental composure enough to just, you know, secure himself that round, get that comeback, and a great punish right there on the spear. Got a call out on that. Stagger's not really working out too well for Mirko. He's getting gradually, like, chipping away at Makaran's health bar. He's not doing too much, though. One successful hit from Makaran right there. The flawless block forces Mirko off that defensive bar, but he's going to get launched to the corner. Extension with the burst as well, ending in that boiling point.
Just trying to challenge and paying the ultimate price for it right now is Makaran. 16% into knockdown. The grab game begins once more. This fatal blow for Scorpion could definitely help him, but can Mirko find the opening? Goes in for a grab again, putting his life on the line, but he's happy to take that risk. Speaking of which, gets another one. Makaran. Knocked down. Plenty of bars of meter. Just walking back. Patience.
He's got his resources to work with. The flawless block reversal up 2 straight away from Mirko over here. He's going to check with the back 3, working on this comeback right now. Okay, Makaran guessing right over here. Staggers back and forth. No overcommitment from either player.
The grab again? Hang on a minute. How has Mirko brought this back? Oh, Makaran. Surely he tried to do a flawless block or something.
I think so.
Ate it.
He either did that or he tried to standing one it, but either way, Mirko managing to do exactly what Makaran did to him in that last round and really just kind of sweep the rug from underneath his feet.
Off the back of that kind of game, Mirko always able to demonstrate this ungodly level of clutch. Where, funnily enough, it was Makaran that was able to do the same thing. You know, round 1, able to get that conversion off the back 3 that whiffed, and then get that disgusting confirm into fatal blow, where we get nicely reminded just how much damage Scarlet can do in the right situation. I'm going to give this one some thought, because normally we see Makaran go in with the Cetra. But we have to remember, Mirko fights Asadamata all the time. That's a matchup he's ready for. There's no way the Cetra will work, surely.
I mean, genuinely speaking, it doesn't even feel like the way that Makaran is playing is actually bad against this kind of Scorpion. You know, because this kind of Scorpion, you're relying very heavily on things like a solid hit confirm, you know? A good whiff punish with the back 1-4 into teleport or something. But really, you're only doing more than like 32% damage if you're spending both bars. Makaran, in general, I mean, with the way that these guys have been trading pokes and just kind of confirming off the straight hits and generally trying to call out each other's options, isn't really losing much in the damage trade. And he's also able to get that punish on Spear, which stops Mirko from being able to play that runaway game Scorpion that we see so often as well. It's also a really key advantage as well. Scorpion not being able to punish that boiling point, forced off the breakaways. Makaran with a very clean whip punish opener from Mirko, who eats that back too as well. Gets the knockdown. Oh my god, got bit as well right at the end by the amplification of that spear. The back 3 blocked as well. Makaran's definitely not been getting caught by those overheads. You can't really make much more out of the situation for him.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not used to seeing so many players block that back 3. And in this case, Makaran's been putting on a bit of a clinic on how to do it. Those crazy reactions, but as we now move forward, the confirm once more into heal. Doesn't really matter, flawless block, but you can't answer back. No, we
so nice
out here, Makaran. I love the way Makaran. Do you see that little backdash? Make you whiff and then bam, 2-on-2.
Perfect use of the spacing right there. He gets caught by the back 1-4 though. He's going to get knocked into the corner. Mirko very much acknowledging the fact that Makaran does not have the bar to break. He's going to get 36% over here. And the back throw, definitely fishing for an escape failed. To rack on towards that KB. He's got the burning spear buff active as well. 4-3 confirmed. Forced Makaran off that breakaway, using the back one to try and check on him, and really just staggering for days on him, trying to get him to fight. Okay, the back 3 check as well. The overhead flawless block by Makaran is going to get a punish on the full string, built back a little bit of life as well. Using that back 2, oh my god, the dash up into the parry, stuffing Mirko's disrespect on wake up with his wake up buttons. We've seen it before, chat. We might be seeing it again. Makaran being able to make a masterclass comeback if he can actually pull off a few successful hits and get a nice sequence going for himself. But right now, danger territory in the down 1 check. A little bit ahead of himself by teleporting in place. Mirko seizing full advantage of that. Gets the round for himself.
Mirko's sticking to the grab game is something I haven't seen in quite some time. However, immediately see the answer back. Mirko, no defensive bar either. The grabs will always continue. And as long as they work, they will keep going. 4-3 stagger. Another grab. Makaran not quite able to just catch this pace at all. Some kind of neutral jump on wake up. That was either an wake up attack that didn't quite work out, or just a hard call out for maybe Mirko jumping or something. Could have been a bigger punishment, but who cares? The low and the heal, and now we're starting to stabilize. Oh, there's the counter hit though, Shab. Oof.
Yeah, that 4-3-4 forcing Makaran off the defense bar as well. Not gonna matter too much though. Mirko's had to spend his just now to stop that boiling point damage from racking on. But speaking of damage, 16% throws right here from that forward throw from Mirko. Flame Spear definitely coming in handy in this. With a forward 4-2, gonna find a clean hit. Makaran unable to break any of this, and that might close out the game. Not quite.
Yeah, the perfect timing there from Mirko. think having the patience to just sit and wait, and then when he realizes that the delayed wake up has come through, perfectly times his back one. With that string doing 4 hits on its own, there's no way Last Breath is going to save you. Not even close. Now again, man, if this somehow ends up being a one-sided scoreline, I do not think these games will accurately represent that. They have been so close.
Yeah. Honestly, and that can be said about like every single set in this top 8 so far, right? I mean, bar the ones that have gone down to the absolute wire. I mean, but the only ones I guess, even set score in terms of just pure score has been between Super Frazier and VL, right? If not, if it was like Mirko and Javier, it was like 3-1s. Otherwise, it's pretty much been 3-0s across the board. But every single game in this top 8 has been so down to the wire. We're playing these like tightrope situations where it comes down to one player's just, you know, innate ability to clutch that entire game and take the game for themselves. But Makaran, you know, hovering the Cetrion, probably taking a moment to breathe, probably giving it a bit of a think over. I personally don't think that Scarlet was really much of a problem in the matchup, but this could definitely be like a comfort pick.
Yeah, the Cetrion, it would have been a mistake because Mirko plays against the best Cetrion in this part of the world all the time and has been able to beat Asadamata in tournament. Like, that's not going to be a surprise pick. That's not going to be unexpected. There's nothing Mirko doesn't know that you might know better. Like, it's just not a good idea. I like going back into this Scarlet.
Honestly, I mean, he's been doing well with Scarlet. It's just been like a matter of Mirko was able to just build up so much momentum in that last game and really just carry that in his favor. But Makaran as well had some really clutch moments in the set. He can do this with Scarlet. It's just going to come down to those micro decisions.
And there's the next layer. I'm going to hold your plus frames, and when you think you get something for free, bam, flawless block.
The level
Over at Unbreakable.
The level of mind games that you get from the flawless block mechanic as well is insane. You know, just at high level when you see people use it so I guess adaptably, you know, just for many different situations, it applies so much more to the layered mind game that this game can provide. Makaran right now.
We're trying to reach the next layer here, Falcon. The down one into parry. Oh, but we're grabbing him out of it straight away. The throw punish. Not quite. There's that up 3. Just to give some kind of stabilized situation. Anything we can get our hands on. Oh, no. Teleport. Oh, God.
My goodness.
It's all going wrong.
You can tell Makaran's trying to catch him in the recovery stage or trying to get a whip punish as well. It's just not working out for him. And right now, Mirko trying to shimmy Makaran at the moment. Plus frames to work with in the corner for Makaran. No flawless block on that back 3-4. And now it is just a matter... Oh, the short hop keeps him in the corner.
Now the fake throws a threat. Oh, God. But wait. Given the situation, that's actually...
Oh, my God, the duck OS.
I was going to say, it's not something that Mirko would be too worried about because he was low on life anyway. But then...
4-3 whip punish as well. Force Makaran off the bar, and now it's just overhead city right now for Mirko, challenging Makaran's ability to block that move that we saw him do successfully earlier on. Definitely coming back to kind of, you know, chew at his confidence a little bit at the moment. Mirko going for the jump-ins, good block on the overhead this time. Makaran really struggling to find an opening hit. Mirko just getting all these straight ones. Speaking of, we have the flawless block up 2 right here, gonna knock Mirko into the corner. He'll be able to get a full confirm off that as he was airborne. And Makaran right now applying all the pressure and has the throw KBs worth it.
Wow, neutral ducking on his opponent's wake up. Mirko is going to get a turnaround thanks to this. Now what's it going to be? Restand, plus frames into a grab game. Oh, and he has a KB. Oh, that early.
That totally slipped my mind that he still had that. I could have sworn I saw Makaran take a throw, but I guess not. The back 2 confirmed straight away into teleport. Gets the knockdown, 25% over here. Knockdown again from that back 3. Just a little bit of raw damage on the table. Throw escape this time from Makaran. Catches Mirko. At the final frames, a great conversion right there off the standing one. Jump in. Gets another launch for himself. No overcommitment this time.
Mirko taking a lot of damage that he really didn't want to deal with in those situations. Caught jumping back, tries to whiff punish with Kelly, gets hit anyway. Oh my God, it's adding up. Every piece of it, half of the life will be gone. Thanks to boiling point. Now, not much left to go. Lets it rock on a teleport, and just like that, Makaran. A game on the board. Let's go. See if that Scarlet can start the reverse sweep.
It seems like Makaran has just made all the right adaptations now. I mean, that last round was entirely Makaran. The first one was a little bit back and forth between both guys who were struggling. You know, Makaran was struggling to find like a solid hit, but when he got those hits, they really counted. And Mirko hasn't really been finding the same level of success. You know, he's getting your throws. Sometimes he'll have Burning Spear active, but ultimately he's getting like 13%, 16%, like 8% or whatever it is off the back three. You know, just small increments of damage and chip damage. But every time Makaran's finding a hit, he's getting like 25% plus.
Sea of blood.
The beginnings of what could be an impressive comeback here for Makaran. Sticking it out with the Scarlet. Something that I think a lot of people always want to see in this situation. I feel like if there was that Cetrion, this would have already been a 3-0.
Yeah, I think that would have
original.
been a very good tell to Mirko, right? To say that you kind of got in his head. Like, just if you forced him to switch to Cetrion, you know that you'd won by that point. Okay, down forward check bails him into that stand too. Really good stuff right there from Makaran.
Doing any of those in the boiling point will be that fat, unbreakable damage. There's no launch involved. There's the low. Confirms into just regular spear. It's all he can do with no meter. However, the side switching throw, giving him that spear buff activated. The down one pickup. Ooh, that's so good. Scarlet. Just a good measure. 25%, please.
It really is. That 25% really going to come in handy. I mean, now we're down. Mirko's at half life right now. Makaran only has just had his health bar pretty much evened out. Slightly in favor of Mirko now after these straight hits. Makaran has a fatal blow to work with. Flawless block up 2 on the jump, and I'm surprised he didn't fatal straight away against the breakaway. And all the spears.
I tell you what, Falcon. I remember when the beta first happened and everyone's like, hey, why has Scorpion got to spend meter to stun on his spear this time? Which, to be fair, it wasn't very MK. Classic that he needed to do it. But then when you look at it mechanically, the fact that he has this avenue of pure unbreakable damage is something that not a lot of characters do have luxury of. And Scorpion being able to spend 2 bars and 2 spears can create situations just like that.
It really can. Plus frames in the corner. Makaran went for the false block, but speaking of, Mirko answering back the down 2 trade. Really good for Makaran right there. He's going to get about 14% over there. Now trying to shimmy Mirko. Mirko with the flawless blocks, not opting to go for the flawless block reversals though. Both players just staggering on each other. You can tell Makaran's trying to find a hit to go straight into that, the straight bloodshot. Gradually build back a little bit of life for himself. That short hop, probably an OS to try and deal with the crossover kick just in case Mirko went for it. But Mirko getting opened up again into the fatal blow. This isn't, obviously it's not going to kill, but it's going to definitely knock Mirko over here. Now you can see he's in the fatal blow territory. It's going to put him in a situation where if either player gets opened up, it's the wrap.
Patience to be shown. Oh my god. That's it. Oh, no, the down 2, get ready for it. No, never mind. Oh, we're not going to brutality here. We're going to friendship. Mirko, the nice guy. But it does mean that by winning this losers finals, will move his way to grand finals where he's going to face off against Josh TQ. The losers bracket is going to be something he has to fight through first though. So fighting Josh TQ, that double elimination grand finals. I get people asking me about the format and how it works all the time. So let me give you a quick refresher, I suppose. Josh TQ is on the winner's side of grand finals. His tournament lifeline is still there. That's why he's in winners. If Mirko wins this next 3 out of 5 in the grand finals, he will simply reset the bracket, basically putting Josh there into losers bracket to join him, and then we play again. Whereas if Josh wins this 3 out of 5, that's it. You know, he wins the entire tournament. So Josh TQ has less work to do, or Mirko has more work to do, depending on whether you're a glass half full or half empty kind of person, I suppose. But as Josh has been the most dominant player so far, this is still going to be one hell of a final boss, Falcon.
It really is. I mean, and it's really, I guess, you know, in terms of like the general story of it all, Mirko has been by far the most successful Italian player within the Mortal Kombat. And Josh really kind of that new blood warrior who's just been so consistent and at the top of his game, you know, that it's no surprise that we're seeing this run back over here in grand finals. I also want to give a shout out to Makaran for really making it this far. But before we can get into the grand finals, we want to give a quick shout out to our audio partner over here at Astro Gaming, the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition. All of the caster audio is powered by Astro for the entirety of the season. See that website in the bottom, astrogaming.com. Be sure to head over there if you want to get more information at all of their officially licensed PlayStation audio products, which are available now.
Shout outs to Astro. always and forever. Supporting the NetherRealm scene for a while now, the greater FGC, pretty much go to a major offline event in America back in the day, and Astro would be involved in some way. You know, they really do support the FGC a considerable amount. But
Yeah.
as we now go into this grand finals, I think that Josh TQ, this is a motivated player that we're looking at, because Mirko's been on a real rise to power, keeping that top level form as we always expect from EU's finest Scorpion. But
Yeah.
Josh TQ, today in particular, the Aaron Black has been a common pick, which is kind of nice. I feel like this is a bit of a throwback, isn't it? Back to the original main, the original favorite. We've seen Josh TQ pick all kinds of different characters all over time, but the Aaron today has been like where the damage has been done.
It really does feel like he never took a break with Aaron to begin with, right? He's been playing so well. And you know what? It's not often we actually get to see Aaron Black in competitive Mortal Kombat these days. Because, I mean, let's face it, there's a bunch of other characters that are better. But when you have someone that's been playing a character for so long and generally able to adapt them to the given meta, the given situation of like how the game evolves, Josh is definitely that kind of player who's introducing things that, you know, like that have potential, like Down Peacemaker, being a really big part of his game plan and a really excellent special as well. But that big call out, the neutral jump kick right away from Mirko, who had the flame buff active, he's going to get a nice little bit of extra damage on that confirm as well. Has a nice health lead, cheeky stuff.
God, that mix. It may as well be unblockable when Scorpion does that forward 4 into low interactable.
It may as well, yeah.
Let's start to the round. No, on that back 3. Not much Josh can do to challenge that. It will be Scorpion getting that first round on the board. Mirko, one thing that we haven't touched on, which is always prominent, when you're on the loser's side, you've got that reset. You have all of the momentum on your side.
Yeah, no, Josh also using one of Aaron Black's best buttons, in my opinion, that sweep. Being ever so good, great whip punish right there, sitting out the acid, knocking Mirko towards the corner. Now, as forward throw, not really going to matter too much to Josh, but what comes afterwards could be dangerous. Challenge straight away, throwing down the acid just in case there was a break. Really good decision-making right there from Josh, but Mirko forced off one of those bars. If he gets opened up right now with that 2-on-2-on-2 KB, that's going to hurt quite a bit. Speaking of, oh, didn't want to spend it. Josh holding it for the last round, maybe.
Oh, and you're so worried about the cattle toss that you immediately get caught by the mid. And that final shot's going to do it to bring us one round apiece. Josh really seems like the kind of player that is known for saving that 2-on-2-on-2 until like the final round where it matters the most, puts on the most pressure. In some cases, just get that breakaway, all important. Speaking of KB, bang, forward throw. Like that.
Now, Mirko's used that to apply the bleed early on, you know, establish a bit of a health lead moving forwards. He has the Burning Spear active as well. But right now, I mean, having used that KB, he doesn't have that for the game-closing situation. But another KB to start things off. Josh forced off that breakaway.
Oh,
what?
The back. He got caught pressing buttons. Mirko tried to go for something.
My goodness. I mean, when do you ever see that?
Oh, the interruption. That's going to hurt so much.
Down for a fatal. Yeah. Now, he's not going to die here as he catch up, but he's going to be really close to it. And I'm pretty sure I'm feeling a helport cancel straight away on Wake Up.
I mean, it's kind of predictable, though. Josh will be ready for it. This is a hard decision to make.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Right. You said there's going to be a teleport. I said, nah, it's too obvious. Josh goes, yeah, it's too obvious. Let me scud shot. Mirko goes, I know you're going to do something straight away, so I'm going to do it because it's so obvious, you don't think I'm going to do it. And now we're sitting here going, damn, that was obvious.
We are so far into the onion, like, it is ridiculous. The layers just keep going on.
It's back to a bulb. It's back to a simple bulb.
It is nothing more than simply a thought to the farmer. But at this point, I mean, Mirko did exactly what he needed to do. I feel like Josh tried to catch him. If he did try and go for an instant teleport, like he tried to get the scud shot to connect just in that moment where Scorpion's leaving the screen, but it didn't work out for him and ultimately just cost him the game. So we're going to see him switch over to Johnny Cage. He does play quite a fair bit of Johnny Cage, you know, on the side. And he's got a pretty good one, but obviously, you know, I guess this is more of a comfort pick. He's rocking that Rising Star, pissed off, throwing shades. So pretty much what we would expect from an ultimate Johnny Cage in the custom environment. Having, you know, unbreakable damage, really practical armor breaker, good confirms. Rising Star in general being a very applicable special. But this is now going to be a very poke-heavy game between both these players.
Just a scratch.
Oh, we open up with an anti-air projectile already manned, just about land on it. But starting off strong here is Marco. The 1-2-1, the Rising Star as well. Josh, not known as a Johnny Cage player, but has always had a very effective cage in the back pocket.
Oh yeah, for sure. Look at him just weaving in and out, fishing for Mirko's pokes, looking out for any habits that Mirko has as a player. And right there, great confirm. Calls out that breakaway as well with the pissed off. Low profiled on that jump 2 and a down 2 from Mirko, letting it rock right there. Disrespectful gameplay, but definitely working out for him.
No, we get the KB and the bleed begins. Wait, some kind of option. Josh first, not quite gonna pull the trigger on it, especially on that low. Doesn't want to go for the cancel until it will secure, and in this case, it absolutely will. There's actually a breaker for Mirko as well, so that's probably gonna be it.
Yeah, and I mean, even if he did, he wasn't gonna be able to break to like 40%. And at that point, is it really worth spending it? Josh clutching out that round, the throwing shades KB, very, very effective. And right there, unbreakable 21% using that 1-to-1 into the pissed off. Counter hit on the back 1-4, straight away from Mirko. He's gonna get the knockdown over here at mid screen. Dashing up and a clean whiff punish right there from Josh. Dash up pissed off, oh yeah.
Any character that can play that solid game of neutral will help out Josh quite considerably. The Aaron Black was solid for it in the first place, but then you look at the Fuji and you look at the Johnny Cage. These characters all make perfect sense. The Scarlet, oh, letting the whole screen go because there's no meter. Yo, short hops. I forgot what the Cage's short hop even looked like, I'm gonna be honest.
You just never see it, yeah. Okay, and I like that, just being really patient, not getting antsy with the plus frames. Said you down 2K, you down 2 brutaled me, you got the nut punch brutal, and that one looks, I mean, that's a heightened level of disrespect, because you look goofy. It looks like Quan just hit you with the Deadly Alliance fatality.
I was just about to say it looks like a neck stretch, doesn't it? Oh, have you ever hit that fatality on people with long hair? And
I don't even...
Their hair gets all messed up.
I can only imagine after you giraffe them. You know, fun fact, that was the only fatality I was allowed to do when I was younger, because it didn't have any blood in it.
Oh, it looks so... yeah, we could talk for hours about the next one.
Nostalgia trip over it. But honestly, this
fatality that the team definitely want us to forget.
But in reality, it's just immortalized. And over here, I mean, this pick to Johnny Cage just seemed really comfortable for Josh. Now he's really just, you know, kind of... He's literally just playing neutral, isn't he? He's playing just complete footsies. He's using the projectile at ranges where it's harder for Mirko to try and react to them because of how fast straight force ball is. And he's just playing around that, you know, he's baiting the counter pokes, looking for the back three with finishes, looking for the forward threes. We had some really good callouts on the armor breaks with pissed off. Generally seems quite, honestly, comfortable in this matchup.
It's part of having confidence with multiple characters, right? Like Cage being a bit more assertive, I think, in this kind of match. For that back three will add up eventually. Not so punishing at the very beginning of the round, but piece by piece. Down 4 game. Down 4 is always meaning a lot, I think, against Johnny Cage. Oh, hang on a minute.
Trading the plus frames at max range on that up too, just about clipping, but a little too far out to get it confirmed. It seems from Mirko. Oh, the punish didn't commit though.
Uh-oh, going for some kind of hard call out on wake up. However, no counter hit, so it could be a lot worse.
Tried to challenge on that +1. Josh wasn't ready for the whip punish right there. The back 3-4 gonna connect. The throwing shades. He is gonna use it. Now Mirko might not get a chance to break over here. Oh, never mind. Oh, that was thick.
Cheeky. Cheeky stuff. Falcon, what was that?
He gave Mirko the false hope that he was allowed to break. That was nutty.
That was a psych, you thought.
It really was. Clean counter hit right there. Drops the combo, not even gonna matter. At this point, the mental damage is already starting to take its toll on Mirko. Using that stand 2 confirms the 1-1 as well for the teleport. Josh forced off that breakaway. He is in the corner. He's gonna be eating these overheads just a bit, but the air to air are gonna alleviate some of that pressure.
Now dropping that corner combo, a bit more punishing than one might expect, I think, because losing the positioning, losing the damage, that knockdown would have been momentum, maybe a chance for Mirko to wake up. Losing that defensive bar, you know, we're now back to that mid-screen, and this is a position that Mirko would much rather be in. Gotta give props to that insane bait that we saw in the corner last time. Lovely flawless block thrown that up too. Here we go. Ouch. The standing situation into the buff spear.
And just about held on to that spear buff long enough to cash out in the 16% from the throw. The jump kick. Josh clearly trying to get a full combo conversion over there instead. risky teleport in from Mirko. He's looking to close the space, gets the whiff punish. Josh overcommitting just a little bit, not able to challenge on the back 3 whiff, though the recovery is a little too, oh my god, the whiff punish!
Wait a minute, that always does more damage than you might expect.
I think he's dead. Back 3-4 fatal does not scale very much at all. It's so close to death.
Oh, there
Chip.
was 1% in it! 1%.
Oh my goodness. I feel like Josh had to poke there or flawless block the... Or just duck the teleport, right? That was such a scary situation to be in. Mirko just about got that round for himself. Tied rounds over here in game number 3 of Grand Finals.
Okay, you get that initial grab. This has been such an explosive Grand Finals already. Oh,
Good for Josh as well. Using that back throw as well, not only gave him the corner position, but also wore down that burning spear quite a lot, and it's time. The dash up down 3.
Always watch out for that neutral jump kick from Mirko, because you know there's a spear option select on the other side of it.
Remember, Josh could have gotten a fair bit more damage over there had he committed to a bigger punish in that situation off of blocking the up 2. Mirko now has another chance. Josh slowly being whittled down towards that fatal blow territory, but a great jump kick OS.
Always got it. Locked and loaded. I wonder if that down one was meant to be a pissed off afterwards. Oh,
I think so.
Rock. That's going to be the game.
Yeah, Mirko getting a little bit ahead of himself. 2 rounds in a row this game. Josh TQ now only needs 1 more win to take this Grand Finals, a week number 6 over here at the EU West Pro Comp. But Mirko, I mean, he's so close in each of these games. He's just really committing to those teleports. And I worry that because it gave him success in that first game, if he's getting a little bit ahead of himself, you know, getting a little bit too eager with it, thinking it's really going to work because people, you know, would just get clipped by it, trying to do something or a kind of, instinctually trying to take advantage of the Yoki, but it hasn't worked out for him in both those rounds.
This situation, that final play, Mirko, the teleport, I mean, it is that double-edged sword so far. It's won in rounds, it's lost in games. Are we going to see that continue? He's playing with these guttural reads. And unfortunately, there's been a couple of instances where a teleport that was just, a couple of seconds too hasty, perhaps. It just hasn't quite worked out for him, but Josh TQ, all the props in the world for being able to keep this kind of character in your back pocket still to this level of excellence. Always been one of his best characters, but you rarely see it in tournament, that Johnny Cage. You know, normally the Johnny Cage player in the family normally belongs to a video game show, right? But
yeah,
talent runs in the family.
That it does. And I suppose when you have a player of video games Yo's caliber, he might have actually shown Josh the ropes with Johnny Cage, or could have been vice versa, you know, for all we know. But at the same time, Mirko getting a very clean opening hit right here. 325, kept standing, goes for that back 3 for the knockdown. Josh now, he's going to get the opening up with that 1-2-1. Mirko probably fighting on the shimmy right there. And using the force balls, just creating a little bit of space. But you're seeing a lot of down 4s coming up from Mirko. He's trying to challenge Josh on the approach, right? Make it really hard for Johnny, who isn't a character with, you know, the luxury of applicable mids that he could just use like that. So making it also hard to just be whiff punished in that sense. Oh my god, that micro duck was as micro as it gets, catch up.
I think I barely saw it start up right there.
Fight.
This 2-1 position. Remember those. Josh, if he wins this game, that's it. The tournament's over. So Mirko, considerable amount of work left to do. Need to somehow stop this momentum that the Cage has been working on. Josh is looking great at the moment. That down one rising star has been a problem all series long for Mirko.
And he has the 1-1-2 backing off perfectly.
Ooh, that was risky. Mirko didn't have me to cancel that one. Had to believe in the heart of the cards. Lovely anti-air.
Both players just comfortably playing neutral at the moment. You know, they don't need to overextend right there. Josh getting a little bit ahead of himself, using that back 3 in the neutral. Mirko ready for it. Goes for the neutral jump. He gets a big damage cash out reward for that. 31% and the corner positioning. Now Josh has that fatal blow to work with. No stranger to comebacks. We've been seeing this before. +1. Choosing to respect because Mirko did challenge last time. Really waiting it out and trying to find that moment. Mirko staggering a lot, but that right there.
Oh my god. Unbreakable win. The unbreakable combo here. Throwing shade. Such a good move. Bringing Josh TQ with fatal blow still in hand onto the tournament point for this latest edition of Pro Competition Intercontinental Combat.
Josh just weaving in and out to bait Mirko and pressing all these buttons. The 1-2-4, there was not a confirm, but he's still gonna take some raw damage. What? Spacing! The 1-2-1 shadow kick, knock him towards the corner. Daggers right here for Mirko, gets a punish on the counter poke. Stand forward teleport. He's gonna get the corner reposition, though he's not. Didn't want to overcommit just because of the break, and the escape failed. Gonna help him out in this last round situation.
Back-to-back pokes. The grab is great. A good start. Both players definitely going to lose half their life, especially off the back of this bleed. Crushing blow landing. Oh my good lord, back to back. The dream lives for Mirko fans because he takes another game. We want a swift tournament point. Just like that now. For game 5, are we going to get a reset or is the tournament going to come to an end?
It's been really, really back and forth between both these players. That was really in, you know, the clutches of Josh before. Then in that final round, Mirko did exactly what Josh did to him earlier on in the set and kind of steamroll him, you know, just run the momentum. That's exactly what happened. And now we are at that kind of pivotal point of the grand finals where we could potentially be seeing a reset. And given how EU East went on earlier, we know what the morale damage it can do to the person who is in winners who has that bracket reset against them. But generally speaking, I think Reg has been playing pretty out of his mind with Johnny so far, so seeing him stick with the character is no surprise to me.
Right. Do or die for Mirko. We're either going to have a reset bracket or a tournament conclusion. This is always the crazy moment because either we're finished or we've only just hit the halfway point and every opportunity post-reset to have another game 5 with how these two players have been rocking it. But Mirko inching out that last round, Falcon. This is always the crazy point where Mirko's like, I think his just resilience in tournament really shines in this kind of setting. How many times has he reset a bracket, brought us into a game 5 post-reset, last round post-reset?
Yeah, I mean,
he wins a tournament. Like, this guy's nerves are
he really just kind of goes at it, doesn't he? He just does his thing, and right here, I mean, he's getting some big damage on the board for himself. He has a pretty nice health lead over Josh at the moment. He still has that throw KB. Oh, wow, the max range teleport being a little bit too far out for that 1-2 punish from Josh. He was looking out for it, tried to go for it. And Mirko kind of, you know, he's preemptively jumping as well, you know, he's fishing for anything but that punish.
intentional. Down 2 out of nowhere. Plus frames on the 2-1 being challenged. Yo, Mirko, slippery stuff all the way. Hang on a minute. He's going to be on reset point right here, Josh TQ. 2 rounds straight if he wants to win this. With punish, not quite. A bit late. Oh!
Okay, forced off the breakaway. That's a good situation for Josh, you know, not taking too much more damage. He is going to be forced off that defensive bar. Won't have the ability to use Rising Star as he might like to, but that standing 4 counter hit on the approach. Mirko definitely cashing out, spending all of it right now for almost 40%.
Ooh. A lot of patience being shown here before the stag on to more lovely throw tech. Waiting for a teleport out the corner. Always waiting. I think that was a teleport attempt right there. I'm pretty sure I saw the startup. Not that it matters.
You might be right.
Duck.
DOS right there into the shadow kick is going to knock Mirko towards the corner, keeps him standing with the force ball as the 1-2-1. Mirko not biting this time, but into the pissed off, he definitely bit that time. The armor break coming in very, very handy for Josh right there. As Mirko now, he has the fatal blow. One successful
He lets it rock! Oh my good god, he let it rock. That is unbelievable. That was the round on the silver plate. There's no way Josh was ready for it. Another neutral. Oh, he walks into the grab. That could not have been part of the plan. And, oh,
I think he just got grabbed out the forward 4.
I think he did. I think he did. What a blunder.
Oh my goodness, and very narrowly, Mirko managing to reset the bracket over here. You can never truly count this guy out. He just comes out of nowhere and starts. I feel like he plays better when he's at a deficit or a disadvantage, right? When he's the underdog.
Man got thrown out of a button into brutality, into thank you, mate. I will reset this bracket, please. And now we go again.
That would genuinely put me on a cement-based diet for a whole month.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, something like that is rough.
To the Aaron Black.
I mean, he had a lot of success with Aaron Black earlier on. Generally speaking, it's like I wonder how Scudshot is like very applicable in the neutral. I guess it's just really a neutral assistance tool, right? Like you can't really use it in many other ways against Scorpion specifically, but it does still open up the option of, you know, kind of allowing Mirko to teleport in on him. But yeah, Scudshot, Cattle Toss, down Peacemaker, the exact same loadout that we were seeing before. We are at that reset, so now we are back at 0-0 between both these players. It's going to be the winner of this set is going to be winning week number 6 over here at the Intercontinental EU West.
But I think it's a fitting grand finals to happen between Mirko and Josh G. These have been often the two most dominant players that we've been seeing on a regular basis here, but we're going straight back in for the Aaron Black. 20 cage, it was a worthy attempt, it nearly worked, nearly did the job. With this acid, extra damage, just for cherry on top. Going back into that grab game to establish. But now, will the Aaron Black be that secret? We saw one loss as Aaron Black and then a change. So we didn't really get to see much of this character in grand final.
Yeah, right now, clean whip punish. That was pixel perfect right there from Josh, who put out the acid. Oh, got clipped by the spear. I'm surprised it wasn't far enough to trigger the crushing blow.
Wait a minute. I can afford to take a grab or two here. Now this one, not enough to write home about, but can't survive a grab anymore. And there's the forward for Mirko, brings it in.
Mirko's momentum has been nigh unstoppable. The moment that you have him backed against a wall, he's just been able to clutch out these situations so well. And Josh right now might be losing a little bit of that momentum, but definitely playing as solid as ever. Just kind of losing those tiny, tiny moments.
I get nervous when Mirko does nothing.
Yeah, for real.
Doing something that when he doesn't move, you know, he's just looking for something to react to.
Oh, you know, great movement right there from Josh, completely understanding the space. Ends in that amplified cattle toss, throw it on the acid. Mirko cannot approach you now. You have to sit inside it. That's all he needs to do.
Hang on a minute.
Oh no, what's Josh doing right here? Forced off the breakaway.
Dash and grab. Everything is being done right. What is going on here? The fatal blow is ready. The wake up dash in, down 4,
My
down
goodness.
3.
I mean, I like it. At that point, you really... I think it's something so aggressive and unpredictable in a situation where I guess Mirko might expect Josh to respect him, that he just decides to let it rock, and it worked out for him. Nice spot reversal right there. Up 2 keeps him standing. No, he's not. He's going to spin that 2-1-2 KB. Burn away at Josh's health bar, but gets shimmied by the 2-1-2 string.
Fighting this hard for just game 1. This is the post-reset things taking place. 2-3 being expected the first block, but hang on a second. There's a counter hit. Josh forced to use every ounce of the meter. We're just about to build one offense, but that's all we have to work with.
Is the forward dash out the corner. Gets the launch. Yeah, uses that in case there's going to be a breakaway. Really good decision. Even though Mirko didn't break, it's still going to be a lot of raw damage that he has to hold.
Now what next?
Okay, that was so nerve-wracking.
Oh my god! There's just something about the full screen Scorpion Spear that always works. I'm pretty sure it's got like 100% hit rate in Pro Competition, Open Series, whatever. I'm full screen, I'm Scorpion, I throw Spear. Ooh, you eat it. May as well be unblockable.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that. I may as well be unblockable. It's just one of those moves that people get hit by, right? Mirko, I mean, he's really just been clawing his way through making these games, you know, these count. These little things just count so much, and kind of just catching people, you know, sleeping in neutral, so to speak, where they're getting caught by spears. You know, it was happening with Macran, it's happening with Josh, and I'm kind of worried in the sense that, like, of the mental damage it can apply to the person on the receiving end of that, as Mirko's starting to build up a lot of the momentum and start snowballing his way through grand finals.
Scorpion. Aaron
Right
Black.
back into the same matchup. The reality was that, by all means, should have been Josh's game to win, but somehow Mirko, I said earlier in today's tournament, he has this uncanny way of always being in the fight no matter what. Both players, in fact, have that characteristic, I think, in tournament. Only fitting they go head-to-head now, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And on this reset, I mean, Mirko is looking super, super strong. But not to say that Raichu isn't. It's like, it's just, once again, like this entire top 8, it's just coming down to those final decisions. The absolute tightest games we could possibly ask for. Gets the cattle toss over here. He's going to get 18% because he spent the bar. 17, sorry. Using that down Peacemaker as well. Very useful special move over here in this Aaron loadout. You can see right there the full back 2-string. But the throw punish. Little cheeky wave dash up from Mirko. Going to get things started for himself.
Oh, there's that immediate interruption. Has been a regular part of this matchup so far. Just knowing that he's going to go for it now. This damage, 17%.
And I like something I need to touch on as well is I like Josh's use of the cattle toss right here. Just saying, okay, if I'm gonna go for a risk on a throw that's also a high and also 10 frames, I may as well go for one that gets me 18% or 17% when I spin the bar. But that right there is a free punish. He's definitely cashing out in this crushing blow right here. Gonna spend it, end it right there in the acid. Mirko getting caught again, still burning, taking this extra damage right here as his entire health bar has just been confiscated by Josh TQ.
The patience, let the whiffs happen, the immediate neutral jump, keep the whole thing unbreakable. Oh my god, right in the head.
Aaron Black
Savage.
wins.
I mean, that right there was not, that didn't feel like anything like the game prior. Right, Josh was in complete control, but for the whole, game. Complete control right there. He was able to just instantly challenge, making these big call-outs, instantly challenging Mirko on the approach, instantly challenging these helport cancels, forcing him to whiff, getting these free punishes, using the spacing of down Peacemaker to his advantage as well, and generally just being this constantly advancing wall of defense.
Aaron Black. Scorpion.
Now we will be going straight back into the same picks. No surprises here. One thing I'm a huge fan of is when Josh lands those neutral jumps, those prediction neutral jumps on grabs or whatever, coming straight down with, I think it's a jump too, the one that kind of
I think so, yeah. With the
going
gun,
in for
right?
A lot of people often go for the jump kick in that situation. They'll option select into something or whatever, but with Josh, it's always just a neutral jump punch, which jails into grounded, unbreakable situations. It's what allowed that win to happen the way that it did.
It's a really good understanding.
What does everyone do?
That's true. I mean, it's something that's like a very good understanding of his character, being and his general resource management, because he knew that he could cash out on crushing blows, like with the rifle and everything. Flawless plug up to force Mirko off that breakaway right over here in this game. And instantly, Josh has now seized a fairly decent health lead to work with as he, look at him just playing on the aggressive at this point now, not letting Mirko wanting to play his game as much, throw escape straight away.
Looks like Josh has been quite content so far to just allow the buttons to come through. The break and the respect showing the spear. Oh, speaking of jumping OS. Oh god, that's gonna hurt. Spend everything. Oh, gets the juggles we're looking for.
Gets that clip half empty as well. It's gonna come in handy for him over here in a potential last round in this game. Josh again with the throw escape has not been letting Mirko get away with any of those. With the 2-1 confirmed to teleport, he's going to spend all of his cash over here, go for the 4-3-4 knockdown, probably to force the quick rise. And Josh. Oh, once again, dash out the corner. Mirko not ready for the OS this time.
Bit of a scrambly round on the side of Josh. Mirko's been just playing at 1,000 miles an hour, and a lot of these evades haven't quite worked out what he's looking for. Not used to seeing that get caught like that. Normally Aaron Black, the master of low profiling basically everything, and a lovely anti-cross-up standing one. Bring us around a piece. Now this is that pivotal round. Who's going to take the lead in the set once more? Post reset, I mean, no losers left.
Yeah, I mean, and this has been incredibly back and forth between both players, right? This is just as even a grand final set as ever. Oh, clean whiff punish right there. Mirko utilizing that movement and really just baiting out the punish, baiting out the counter pokes. A clean shimmy right there caught Josh pressing down too. He's going to get 312 damage and the corner positioning right here. Goes for the safe jump attempt. Not going to work out for him.
Those are going to show respect to a jump kick, so that late jump punch just to jail nicely. However, Josh has been able to find a situation here. Doesn't let it rock. A little bit of damage over time on the floor, but not much to write home about just yet. We're getting that crushing blow. Locked and loaded! Oh, God!
Oh, you mentioned it, and Mirko delivered right there. Speaking of crushing blow, Josh with the late break! That was so clever!
Oh my god, he has the breakaway on the absolute frame he needed it. And Mirko betting it all, but yeah, for sure.
Okay, because that last shot does like sometimes the most pitiful damage in the world. I was wondering if it was going to get scaled and Mirko would be alive with like 0.1% health or something, but I mean,
It's ridiculous.
that was excellently calculated right there. Going straight into the KB launcher, straight into the fatal blow. He just knew that like it was going to do enough damage, right? And if Mirko broke, well, same result.
Mirko going in for the spear because I can only assume that he didn't think the breakaway would happen in time, and the break on the frame Josh needed it was able to punish the spear and win the round. I mean, to be fair, it's a hard decision to make in that situation, but the number one thing you do as Scorpion if you think they're going to break and punish your spear is to not do it. That was just a miscalculation on Mirko's part. That was 100% a mistake. That's all it was. And Josh will happily punish that.
Yeah, it was honestly just a very good decision from Josh to let that go. Now, this is, once again, potentially tournament point for Josh. He only needs this one win right here to close this out. Mirko is going to have to win, 2 in a row, which is not going to be easy given how Raichu's been adapting so well and just playing this Eren and this matchup, just making it harder for Mirko to actually play his game as confidently as he has been before the reset.
Oh, instant jump kick teleport. Oh, haven't seen that combo in years.
Just the meatiest of things, a classic Scorpion right there, just instant jump kick teleport. Holding that Scud Shot to bait the teleport, but a punish on the counter poke. Mirko completely ready for it. He's going to end in the 2-1 into the straight spear. 34% right here because of that burning spear buff. Okay, now this is a great position for Josh actually. If he was going to constantly use down Peacemaker, right? Just because it's going to push him back. And he's going to constantly be able to recycle that situation where he's going to be able to make you block and then put into a guess state and then push him back.
But once more, this mobility coming out from Mirko. Didn't fully believe in that jump in, didn't see anything input from it. Carton, good chip. Ooh. Always having to show respect just on the off chance that Mirko teleports, but it's more likely you might not commit without the meter. Big neutral jump. So much damage over time!
Okay, Josh with a down 4 check, dash up into the counter toss. He doesn't have the meter. That would have been enough to kill, but the flawless block on the up 3, not enough, but back 2 low Peacemaker. Really cheeky mix right there, and a lot less risky than back 2 slide. Worked out perfectly for Josh, who is now on set point, tournament point, right here against Rise Mirko.
Oh my lord, he knew the empty jump into the punish short hop. Mirko loves to flawless block those jump ins.
Definitely, but getting clipped by the full back 2 string. He's going to get himself thrown in the corner. We're definitely seeing the bar spread over here for a cheeky 26%. Now Josh gets the drop kick. Knows Mirko's going to be squirming out. Roll again. Drop kick working out for him. Low Peacemaker. Oh, this is looking rough for Mirko. And that is that. CGL, Josh TQ taking it.